Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Hibnotix, and this is Going Places. This is the show where we go around the world looking for region-exclusive games, as well as, playing the games that we would take on our travels on handheld devices. Now, last week we had I need to remember, it's one of the Monster Hunters, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, I believe. Rosianna did a brilliant job of that, and that was on the previous generation of Sony handheld consoles. And today we're going to be having Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, courtesy of 2K3. But before we head into that, I'd just like to remind everybody that AGDQ 2023 online will be on January the 8th to the 15th. Now, all the game submissions have closed for that, but you can have a look at the publicly available submissions on the gamesdonequick.com website, and you can find out more info about what else is going on regarding volunteering stuff and that. You can tell I'm very professional here. But without further ado, we're not here for AGDQ. We're here for the games that we have here right now. And we have got hopefully, I'm expecting a class showcase of Uncharted Golden Abyss. Hello, 2K3.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Hibby. I am 2003-041. You can call me 2K, 2K3, or any number-related name that will help you remember me. As Hibby mentioned, this is a game that was released for the PlayStation Vita. I am actually using a PSTV with custom firmware to be able to play this game. It's normally blacklisted, but this game features a lot of the Vita controls, tilt controls, we have touch controls, and so for the touch controls, you might see this white hand pop up on the screen. That's me using my touchpad in order to use all the different touch mechanics with the game. We are going to be doing the any % puzzle skips. So that means we're going to be skipping a lot of the charcoal rubbings that we would need to do and things like that. And normally in any % run, you just select new game and go from there. We start from the chapter select, very easy. One other thing to note, this is the US 1.3 patch. With the US, there's one type of clip that the Japanese version it's exclusive to the Japanese version, but we still have another clip that we can do, and I've kind of modified the run to work on this. With the 1.3 patch, the unfortunate thing with that is anytime I need to restart checkpoints, so anytime I die or forced restart checkpoints for various reasons, it does take longer for the game to load. So, as much as we can, we're going to try not to die as much as possible. So we go to chapter select, very easy. We're going to load in the cutscene. The run does not start until we actually skip this cutscene. Every time we get to a brand new chapter, we need to let the level itself load in. It's not like the other Uncharted games where everything is just kind of in the game at once. It has to load different areas at different times. I'll let this play out a little bit so you get to the little quote at the beginning here. And just like you see, yep, it's still loading the data. So that's going to be the theme of this run, trying to skip these videos as fast as we can. So if we are ready, we're going to start this run in 3, 2, 1,
Good
and
luck.
go. Thank you. So right off the bat, the Japanese version, so like I said, they have a very specific clip that you can do that's exclusive to the Japanese version. It's a standing cover clip. You can do the other clip, which is a crouch cover clip. In the Japanese version, you can actually do a standing cover clip right at the very beginning to skip a lot of this climbing around. This game, just like Uncharted 2, has the media res where it starts you towards the end of the game. So you're going to see this chapter again with hopefully a little bit more gameplay to it. For now, this just acts as a tutorial for climbing around. One of the cool things with the climbing feature, and I'll probably show it off a little bit later, is you can actually use the touch controls to climb around. So when I was doing my casual play, I would just climb, set the climbing wherever I want to go. We pull him down. And just let the game do the work. So we're getting into the brunt of the action here. We're going to pick up this AK, just run and gun these guys down. There's a couple more we need to get over here. Now, keep in mind the last two guys that are going to pop out here, because it's not going to look the same when we get to this point again. So we actually have to kill those guys in order to be able to even scale this wall. And the other thing I'm going to have chat do, there's going to be little trophies that will pop up in the top right corner there. Anytime they pop out, you guys can certainly keep track. Let me know how many I get, and those are just stat trackers, how many people I've killed. I already got one right there, so off to a great start. They just pop up a lot. It's insane how many you get. You get one for about 10 kills each. So we hop over here. So with the handgun, the nice thing is most of these guns are going to take 2 bullets to kill. There are some really OP handguns, and for the most part, we're gonna try to pick up those guns as much as we can, make things easier. And just like that, we are done with the prologue. Heading into the meat and potatoes of the game. So this game takes place over 2 weeks. Spans from Panama to Central America. And right at the beginning here, we are hired by Dante to help examine an archaeological dig that they found. That's, going to lead to a lost treasure. With these sections here, the rule that we want to keep in mind is we want to try to be ahead of the NPC as much as possible. By doing that movement, I can actually get in front of Dante there. And that just means here I can grab this rope and jump in front of him faster. When it comes to the movement speeds, it's very much like the other Uncharted games. I believe the engine is based off of the Uncharted 2 engine. Combat speed is going to be the fastest. Second fastest is going to be shooting the gun. Jumping is going to be third fastest, and at some points you will see a roll happen. Do a jump immediately out of that cutscene and get ahead of Dante again. Again, the theme for this chapter especially is try to stay in front of the AI as much as possible. Beat him to this one. That one can be tricky to get to, but luckily we got it. Especially on the ledges here, this is where the roll is going to come in handy, because you can see it's a very slow walk. You can't jump, but if you roll, you get some good speed, good distance. And sometimes with those ledges, you can chain rolls, but it can get very precarious, especially with a death costing some time. The other thing I like to do is, if you notice whenever I climb up the ledge, you'll see the gun kind of pull out. So I'm tapping the gun buttons to try to get those out. These are the first set of charcoal rubbings. And again, we're just skipping those. Because we've already completed this game before. I'm trying not to get ahead of Dante here because I actually did crash the game the other day after I accidentally murdered him off the bridge.
How dare the game punish you for going too fast?
The worst part is I can't send a report because this game is whitelisted. So this is actually the only puzzle we have to complete in this run. The Japanese version actually automatically completes this one. But this is the only one we have to do. The JP version, there's a puzzle later on that thankfully we don't need to do. It's so much worse than this one, so I will gladly accept that trade-off.
If you were doing the puzzles, would they get much harder than the one that you just showed us, or are they all fairly, trivial?
So, for the most part, it's putting together like torn pieces of paper and stuff like that. I'm actually doing a skip right now. Oh, I barely made that. So anytime we get to any logs, there's a balancing mechanic that was on Uncharted 1 that they decided to bring back, and was only on the PS3 version. Every time that we can skip one of those, it's about 5.5 seconds of time save. But going back to those puzzles, I mean, they can be extremely time consuming to just fill those in. I think I'm the only one who's done a run of just the standard any %. and it was like 3 hours 15 minutes. That's putting together all those things. So here we're actually forced to get a collectible. There's a couple of collectibles we're gonna just get because they're in the way or we're forced to, like this. This game by far has the most collectibles, and it's kind of weird when you think about it for the, a portable version of Uncharted to have that many. The most is it's 101, which is shared by multiple games. That's, all the treasures plus the one strange relic. This game has over 300 collectibles.
Goodness. Wow.
Between those turquoise glyphs, the various tools that we're gonna find that belong to one of the characters' dads. So here's another part. We're gonna try to get in front of Dante. We're just gonna spam the jump button. There we go, and we're ahead of him. And it's just faster because, obviously you're stuck behind the NPC. The NPC doesn't go that fast as we do. And the nice thing with these sections too, with these gaps that you need to cross, you might think it's really tough platforming. It's not. It literally just will put you right on the rock that you need to.
Well, now that you've talked about the collectibles, I've got to ask the big question. 100%. Has someone have runs of that category? Does that category exist? Have people done it?
There is all treasures. I have not done it, but B-Man, who is one of the top runners for the game, he's currently got the record for the Japanese for this game. No puzzles, and he's the only one to do a run with all of them. Some of them are very annoying because I've accidentally unmuted myself. Sorry about that. So, I'm not sure how much of that you heard.
You talked about B-Man.
There is one person. Yeah, there's one person to do that run. He's the current world record holder for the no puzzles as of this point. He also, along with Panzerdeer and Sergeant Silent, did a lot of the timing work in terms of finding out which of the balance skips you can do and whatnot. Which ones are even possible, because there's some that you can do. They're extremely tedious and they're not even worth going for. Now it's actually a very minor thing. If we go to the log, we trigger a cutscene, but by just going the way that we're supposed to go, because Dante says, oh hey, there's another treasure up here. And the reason we go over here is because we need to learn how to use our machete. So this is the first of the QTEs that we actually get, the quick time events. Luckily, we don't have an actual timer for those, but those swipes can definitely be a bit annoying. You get the turquoise glyph there. Oh, hi. And we are just on our way again. But yeah, so one of the collectibles that you can get are various pictures, and some of the pictures you need to take are right at the very end of a chapter, and so it's very easy to accidentally hit the trigger for the chapter end and not get the collectible. Here we have our first fight, and you might be wondering, well, he doesn't have any bolts in his gun. That's no worries. We're gonna just melee this guy down. And then we're going to get behind the second guy and just hopefully push him right off. There we go. And a little bit of tech here. Anytime we get from a high ledge, we're just going to roll off. That's going to allow us to drop to a lower plane without actually having a stun.
Nice job.
Anytime you land from a high point, you get a little bit of a stun, and it takes a second before you can walk again. In certain spots, too, it's going to prevent us from dying from jumping from too high up. Dante, being a gentleman, is always helping us with the gate here. I will say Dante is probably the second best sidekick next to Flynn from the second game. So this section here, this is where the dig site is. And in the any percent, you're turning these objects around and wiping dirt off of them to inspect them and all that, and it gets very tedious. So this, luckily with the no puzzles, we don't have to do any of that. But we meet Chase. She is basically the Elena of this game. The only difference is she does not like guns whatsoever, so you need to protect her. Now we got Guero's thugs coming after us. Guero is the main villain of this game. He's a former general. I'm pretty sure he got disbarred from the military or whatever the term is, dishonorably discharged. And he is pretty ruthless. He's kind of up there with Lazarevich in terms of a boss. He's a really well-designed boss, and I wish more people... Oh, there was one more guy. He is pretty ruthless in terms of what he does. All right, so with Chase safe, so yeah, the big thing too is we're just pretty much making sure Chase doesn't get murdered. It's very unfortunate that she doesn't like guns. She just has an allergy, you know. It's fine.
Understandable. You gotta look after your friends with allergies.
All right, so the first couple of chapters, if you've noticed, this is the second time now that we've had to wait for more data to load. These first couple of chapters are just extremely long. Once we get to a certain point, some of the chapters are just gonna fly right on by. But this is where we really get into the firefight. So here we're just gonna hop over. We're gonna take out that guy up there. Take out you. We're gonna hop to this side of the log. Aim up here. There's going to be two more that could pop up. Oh, hi. And the thing with the melee is you're wondering why I don't punch. Whenever you do the melee, you get a slow-mo effect, and on top of that, you have to do a swipe at the end, 1 to 2 swipes depending on what the game makes you do. It's something that's not in your control. So you want to try to shoot them to kill them as opposed to melees, because that's obviously just going to waste time. The other thing too is, so here I'm just shooting the gun to get the speed. There are going to be points where ammo conservation is going to come into play, especially when I get those better guns. This is one of the sections that's kind of wonky. We're just going to try to shoot these guys one at a time because they dip off once you hit them once. And hopefully we can try to get at least one headshot so I don't need to reload on the rope. Reloading on the rope is rough. Hey, there's our headshot.
Nice.
The other thing with this game I should touch up on, that cursor that you see normally in all the other Uncharted games, as long as your center is on the point, it would go into the center. But this game, the bullets just kind of spray everywhere within that circle.
And that's handy.
So we do a jump there, get in front of Chase. Again, just try and get ahead of the NPCs as much as we can.
I know before we started this run, we were talking about, this game being quite theatrical, and it's like, well, a lot of the Uncharted games like watching a movie. And I've got to say, those deaths that we just had as you were climbing down there were incredibly theatrical. They were really milking that, throwing themselves off the edge.
Oh, definitely. And it's funny because one of my friends, when he was watching, he thought he heard a Wilhelm scream.
It wouldn't be a theatrical experience without the Wilhelm scream.
Alright, so Chase just trying to make a gap there. We're going to do another bridge skip. We're going to set up a little differently. We're going to aim there and do a jump. And I fell off the log. That's unfortunate. So that's a restart checkpoint. I'll give it one more try. This one's not too bad. If I don't get it, we'll just do the balance, which is perfectly fine. But you guys get to see how long it takes for it to actually load back up.
That's rough.
Nope, and I didn't even get the angle right. I didn't die. I don't know if I could have saved that down there. So we're just going to go across normally. It's totally fine. Like I said, if you get it successfully and quick enough, it's 5.5 seconds time save, but obviously you're losing way more. But yeah, this is the function that we've only ever seen in Uncharted 1 with the 6-axis controller. All right, so I'm going to pull out the gun so I can get some good speed. We're just going to fall off the cliff here. good. Chase jumped up, so there's a good chance that she stays away a little from us with this jump here. This part can be a bit rough if Chase is in the way because she can kind of get stuck and potentially soft lock you, but luckily, like I said, where I forced her back up, we're all fine. Now, this is the worst place to have a death. We've got one more ledge that we need to traverse, and there have been times where my angle has been really bad. This is right at the end of the chapter. We would have to go all the way back to that log. So let's hope I get this roll right. I'm just gonna walk a little bit. Yep, there we go. And just like that, we are exiting out of the second chapter here. Oh man,
Nicely.
do we have a count in chat for the trophy number pop up so far?
We're gonna have to get some fact checkers on that. We've been seeing a lot of people that are just sad that they've missed out on this game because it only ever made it onto the Vita, didn't it?
Yeah, and this is one of the games. I know they just did a remaster for 4 and Lost Legacy. I really wish that this game more so had a release, a remaster of some kind for PS4 or PS5, because this is a really good Uncharted game. I definitely would recommend watching skip that please. Watching a playthrough, no commentary playthrough of this game. If you really enjoy the Uncharted games, this game is such a good storyline in my opinion.
It also looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's funny. It's they definitely, with it being with it not working on the PS TV natively, it still looks pretty good for being stretched out. And like I said, so this was actually made by Bend under the supervision of Naughty Dog. So it wasn't even Naughty Dog that actually made this game. So they did an amazing job with this. There was rumors that they were working on a Sully prequel, but unfortunately Naughty Dog got a little too much in the way, so we're never going to get that now, it seems. Alright, so just hopping to the left here. Oh, I can show off the, yeah, see those ledges going? That's how you can tell Nate to go to X place to climb and whatnot. And like I said, it's very comfy during the casual play, especially when you have really long climbing sequences. You don't have to hold a direction. You don't need to mash a button. But when you do the climbs for the speedrun, there are certain angles you can hold the stick. So you can make jumps and gaps that are, out of the scope of just using that touch functionality.
With those climbing sequences, do you get penalized for spending too much time on a ledge? I imagine the stamina would sort of run out after a little bit?
There actually is no stamina, which is a very nice thing. It's interesting though. I didn't get to touch on it, but one of my favorite things with this game is that the guns, because it is a handheld console game, have this nice little lock-on feature. So pairing that with the Dragon Sniper, that just turns me into a into a Call of Duty sniper at that point, where I can just quick scope all the enemies. So I'm doing a swipe here. You may not see the arrow, but that is a quick time event on that jump.
Nice.
I really don't want to fall off this ledge. Ledges are really janky. I have to be extremely careful around them. You can just press the circle button and accidentally roll off to your death. This one in particular, I jump off a lot. So thank goodness I remembered I needed to just drop down. Okay, we got 2 more sets of firefights coming up. We're gonna this guy's chilling. Now he's down there. It's fine.
That would be where I would place a Wilhelm scream.
Oh, definitely. Now we're actually backtracking with a lot of the scenery that we did. We're gonna jump over here. We're gonna just start shooting and taking down these guys. There's a whole barrage of them, and like I said, main thing with these fights, make sure Chase doesn't die, and that typically just means don't get too far away. Oh. Yeah, that cursor was not on him, and still that one too. You can just see where the bullets just kind of fly around everywhere. It's kind of nuts, and it's rough, especially if you're looking for headshots in particular. You might have the cursor completely on the head, and it hits the torso for absolutely no reason.
Video games, that's why.
Exactly. So we're gonna have one more set of quick scopes for this section here. We've got 3 more enemies coming up. Yeah, that was reloaded.
Look out.
So we're gonna have first one up here. Oh, hey, there we go. It's 1, it's 2. Luckily, I got 1 more bullet for the last guy. So we're just gonna do our jumps because I need to just save that bullet for a minute. And especially with this guy takes so many more bullets than the standard enemies. So having the stronger gun for those guys is extremely critical. And we got 2 more movies to skip, and we are done with chapter 3. There's Guerrero, by the way. That is the main villain of this game. So he knocks us out, captures Chase. That golden amulet that she had, he's taken for his own. That amulet is going to be in particular use to us later, since that is literally the key for the hidden city. But for now, we're in a building that is now on fire, doing some movement in the darkness. And essentially all we're doing here is we're just trying to escape. So each chapter in a way has its own little theme of what you're doing. So those first couple of chapters, it was a walking simulator, so to speak. This balance skip you can technically do, but is not worth it to actually do it. We're gonna roll down here, trigger that cutscene, and then we get our favorite machete part here.
Very amused by just the name of this chapter
here.
And how you explained it before it came up, and I was just like, oh yeah, okay. Why's the building on fire? Of course.
Oh, the best part. I'm gonna wait until we actually finish the chapter. I'll tell you why it's on fire. But I'm gonna hold off for the time being with that.
I eagerly anticipate the reason.
I'm gonna make it a little bit of a surprise. So, I'll probably let the next cutscene just play a tiny bit. So we do some jumps because otherwise it's slow walks.
This is crazy.
And this is where we really get the first of the swinging parts. These are a little annoying because, especially when you have multiple in a row, you have to wait for Drake to get reset, whereas, other Uncharted games, he can just swing from one to the next. So, especially with later chapters where you get more swinging, it's a little annoying. Jump to the closest one, and we are done with the chapter. And I'm pretty sure within this first little bit, it'll be explained.
Hey, you okay?
I'm fine.
Sorry about that fire. I tried to create a diversion.
Yeah, so it was Chase's fault. That
how very dare she?
She doesn't like guns, but she's okay with arson. So there's that.
The happy medium.
So right at the beginning of chapter 5, this is where we're really gonna start getting into the clips. So we're gonna wait for this guy to come up, melee him from behind, and we're gonna go into our cover crouch clip. The way that this works is you crouch behind an object, you aim down sight, you hit triangle to swap shoulder, and then you need to turn Nate the opposite direction. That just lets him walk into the wall, and at this point the only way to get it to set is you'll see camera changes. This particular one we're gonna wait for 2 camera changes. I believe this clip was initially found by Oven Donkey, who did a lot of Uncharted glitch hunting in general. There's the second camera change. So it's a slight variance for the US version to the Japanese version. I'm actually going to restart the checkpoint here. Normally the Japanese version, you just go to the right and you do a standing cover clip. But because you cannot do that in this version, it's off that wall. I'm pretty sure you do the standing cover clip. But of course we can't do that here, so we have to modify the run a little bit. So we restart the checkpoint so we get chased back up here. Because we are going to need her. We're going to tackle this guy, take his shotgun for later, make sure we refill some stuff. And this is why we need chase. We need to boost her up here to trigger the next cutscene here. As she gets stuck, very unfortunate. Now this cutscene's a little weird. We actually have to wait until the tire changes camera angle right there in order to be able to skip that movie.
Oh.
It's one of the few times where you have to wait in order to skip movie. But that's easily one of the weirder ones. So we got this one. Yeah, that one is extremely hard. I've literally only gotten that once, and I think I got it yesterday. That skip is extremely hard to do. All right, so here's where we're gonna have some QTEs for just random pipes falling and all of that. The QTEs are interesting. As long as you know when they happen, it's really not too bad, but they can definitely take you by surprise. Luckily, there's the slow motion that happens during it, so you get a little bit of a grace period to actually input the swipes that you need. Okay, so we meet back up with Chase. We're gonna find this trowel here that belongs to her grandfather, and that's another just dirty object that you're normally supposed to rotate around. This section here, we've got 4 enemies. We're gonna take them all out silently and hope for the quick melee kills. Oh, that's the slow one. That's the one we don't want to see. That's the bad animation. If we were to just start shooting guns ablaze, there's a whole ton of enemies that will come down. Also, that guy is completely blind, which is hilarious. I always laugh with that guy.
So with the melee attacks, are those just like is it random which one he ends up doing, or is it a distance type of thing?
I think it's tied into distance plus randomness. I haven't fully figured it out. But my strat for the most part is try to get as close to them as possible to give the better chance of, doing one of the faster animations. That slap one, that karate chop one is by far the slowest one.
Okay.
All right, so this chapter here, this is where we're going to use the shotgun. We're going to take out you, we're going to take out you, we're going to take out you. And then another guy's going to drop down, but hopefully we'll be through this wall and he's just going to be like, what are you doing? Yep, there we go. He can't hit us anymore, which is great. And he's just wondering what we are doing. So again, we got to wait for the camera to actually change its position before we can get out of this. Otherwise, we just warp right back. Is he going to kill himself? He might. If he did, that would be hilarious. I've never seen that before. Yeah, so we're normally supposed to get to this part much later. This is actually going to trigger more enemies to come out, and the enemies that will come out will help to trigger a cutscene to end the chapter or get close to the end of the chapter. So, oh, he's still alive. Okay, so we jump onto this board, we go to the other side, and then we're going to lower this by latching onto it. And now we just gotta start taking them all out. I like to take out this first wave down here. Oh, hi. I think where are those bullets coming from? Those ones are coming from behind me, actually. Oh, I was a little too slow on that one. I'm gonna try to get up because killing the last few guys up here is gonna be beneficial. Because I like to grab the AK that's there. Oh, that was a little too slow. These guys are going way back here. It gets a little annoying, but... All right, there we go. All right, that's the line that we want. It says we killed all the enemies we need to. Grab the AK. We got one more set of enemies we need to take out here, so we're going to shoot that gas can if I can. Take out you. The other guy's all the way down there. That's interesting. And then we're just going to spawn camp. So you're down. We're going to wait for these guys to jump down. Take out that barrel. Got one more coming from the right here. There he is. And then one more jumping down there. And just like that, that is the end of this chapter pretty much. We just got to open this door. And this time, Chase actually does help you with the door, which is great compared to Dante.
Nice.
It's not gonna move.
All right, so this
we had somebody wondering whether this is, you know, canon to the series, whether it plays a part in the storyline.
So this is canon. This is a prequel game. The nice thing with this game is it kind of shows Drake's motivations, how it changed, you know, from the beginning of the story to the end, and kind of shaped how he sees treasure hunting in general. So this actually is canon compared to, you know, the movie, which that's 100% not canon. We shoot that guy, we get the West. This is the one-shot gun, the one-shot handgun. So we're going to be using this a lot in this chapter. Pick up that gun. And then we just wait here because, you know, we just got to wait for Chase to get over here.
Big question is Chase going to help out?
Okay.
She's helping again.
She is, yes.
This is the sort of part that you actually want.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's half and half because it would be even nicer if she does pick up a gun. Because then we don't have to basically do an escort mission the whole game. Two more guys here. Just easy takedown here. Nice thing is they've got Wes's as well, so we can just reload our ammo. Look at that glitchy Drake on top of the body. So now we get to do some climbing around. And hi, please. The banter in this game is really top notch, though. Like I do have to say, Ben really did their homework working with Naughty Dog to get the characters just right and all of that.
Nice.
Jump over this pipe, we get another quick time event.
Thank God.
Signboard, jump around. Nope. And the thing is, if you don't wait for the lean, that's going to happen a lot, where he just climbs back and forth over the signboard, which is very unfortunate. I'm going to drop down. I'm actually going to shoot you. And wow, that cursor is way off, but... Okay, I'm going to go for this one. This one can be a bit... Nope, I didn't even get the jump. So the way that the balance skips work, you could kind of see it on that log in the middle, where it kind of bends down. Essentially, all we're doing for the balance skips is we're trying to jump over the trigger and not set it off. That one's a really good spot to really see the seam of it. Tilt the controller, because sometimes if I just try to do a proper angle with my joystick, he likes to jump down and the camera changes and it's very annoying. So now, Chase, we need to get her up the elevator. It's stuck. So we're a counterweight.
Of course.
Just like Uncharted 3, basically, with this point. But nice thing is, once we get to the top, that is going to be the end of the chapter.
Clear. I put the brake on.
There we go. Jump back up. And again, this is... Gotta just wait for him to turn, or else he's gonna climb down, and that's very annoying.
Just watching this run is making my upper body, like, stress out, because this...
All these games.
This, like, he must be jacked.
You would think that, but I mean, he does have buffness, but he's been doing this since he was a kid, where he's been climbing around buildings and all that. Uncharted 3 and 4 both have a look at his younger self. All right, so this chapter here, we start off with that roll. He really likes to lock onto the left side. And it doesn't matter if we're in front of Chase there, because we gotta fall down this pit anyways.
Yeah, I'm okay.
And the other thing is, some of these cutscenes, they're not, they're not actually cutscenes, so you can't skip them. If you pause, you're just wasting time like that. All right, so we found another one of her grandfather's tools.
Know who it belongs to?
She is really just on the hunt for her grandfather, who was an archaeologist looking for this treasure. So this section here, it's very interesting. There's two ways you can go about it. You can take all these guys out by stealth or shoot them. If you take them all out by stealth, there's going to be a door that opens after I kill this last guy. If I kill this last guy. Right. There we go. If you don't get that door open, if you take them all out by stealth, if you're going for all the treasures, there is a treasure in there that you cannot access. Which is very interesting in my opinion. We're gonna pick up those grenades before that cutscene, because from here, this is where the fun is going to happen. This is probably one of the most fun parts, because we're just gonna launch grenades at all these guys. We're gonna aim down sight and just tap the grenade button. Watch these grenades fly. Watch these guys die. We're just gonna. As long as you know the two main points that they spawn, there's going to be guys from that side. There's going to be guys on top of the build. There's only 2 guys on top of that build. Majority come from that way. There's the other one. Just, hopefully, I don't know if that went too far or not. We'll just throw another one. Yeah, the cool thing is where we're right next to an ammo box, it doesn't really matter. We get the piece of cake, which means we are done with that. I'm just going to re-grab that ammo. She's going to throw the rope down to us. Very short amount of gameplay before we get another cutscene here, and there's actually 2 cutscenes. And then of course we have to protect her, so we gotta do this fight, and we got the 1 swipe, so that's very nice. Some of those kills it takes 2 swipes on the melee, so we got lucky with that forced melee to only have the 1 swipe. So this chapter here, this is chapter 9 that we're on. This is the point that we are supposed to get Chase's amulet back that was locked in Guerrero's office. This chapter is insanely broken in how we do this in speedruns. Also, that was a very interesting glitch that the camera did for a second. So we still got the West, which is going to be beneficial right at the start here. We're going to take out these first few guys here. So normally with the clip you do, it's a standing cover clip. But I figured out a way to get it to work with the crouching cover clip. When I get to the room, I can explain it a bit better. We kill that guy. And it's going to be in this room up here is where it's going to happen. We're going to kill, hopefully, this guy on the other side of the wall. There we go. Nice, free, and easy. Take out the shotgunner. So what we're doing here, we need to keep the guy with the green hat alive. He is one guy that his AI is kind of geared to walk away from Drake. So there he goes. He walks away. Perfect. So we're going to do our crouch cover clip. The standing cover clip is the spot to do it is the wall, that first wall, right before we took out the shotgunner. You can do a standing cover clip on the Japanese version. So this one's going to take a little bit of time just because we have a lot more distance to cover. And when you screw up, that's what happens. He just will shuffle back onto the right, closer to his starting position. And main thing here is we are hoping that that guy does not decide to pop on down and say hi to us. That's the reason why we keep that AI. I figured this out accidentally that guy with the green hat, his AI tends to not go towards Drake. I did it the very first run I tried it on. I left that guy alive, and I thought, okay, I just need to keep one guy alive. No, I tried it with the other guys, and they will come down. They like to melee you. All right, so starting to get through the wall. We just need to make sure we wait for the camera change here to happen. Oh no, I dropped the West. Okay. Good thing I noticed that because at the end of the chapter, we're going to have some shotgun guys that we're going to need to take down. So from this point on, it's the same strat done on JP and English because there's no standing walls here. And normally in this chapter, I mean, like I said, at pretty much every room that you go to, there's a cutscene, there's a bunch of enemies to kill. It is very long, very tedious. And then you get into Guerro's office. You have to break into his safe with a code. So doing this is just bypassing so much of the plot and so much of the stuff you really don't need to do, which is very nice.
I find it so comical that the movements that he has to do to get into these positions are just constant spins on the spot. Like,
yeah, one of my friends said that the strat is the spin to win strat. I don't think there's there's an official name other than the crouch cover clip, but I really like the spin to win strat.
I can get behind spin to win. I think that's great.
So just when you think it's done, we've got one more we got to do. And this is something that if you have the game, anybody can do this. It's not restricted to, a region platform or a patch version. And like I said, so it's you face away from the wall during a crouch cover. You aim down sight. You hit triangle to swap the shoulder. And then when he comes back up, you just spin the opposite direction from the wall that you're going to. The timing can be a bit wonky if you're trying to go fast, but it's not too bad. We're just going to jump to that pole there. Normally, the game wants you to kind of go around, but you can reach it right there. There's no need to. And so, yeah, this shotgun guy, this is why we like the West. Stop moving? Okay. And luckily, there's going to end up being one more that comes out after we make this final gap. But he's not too much of an issue. And we'll see if I can get the camera to glitch out at the end here by jumping a specific way. There we go. I kind of did. Oh, that poor guy. He's just always rusting there. Yeah, that by far, like I said, that is the most broken section in this whole game in terms of sequence breaks. So it's funny, I timed this yesterday. This is actually the one cutscene where it's worth letting it play out as opposed to waiting for the cutscene to load. It saves about 1 second based on the timing I did.
Hey, every second counts. Gotta...
Exactly. So unfortunately with this guy, we have to wait for him to confront Chase before we can shoot him. He's invincible up until that point. But the fun thing with this part is we get to do our quick scoping again. Nope, except for that guy apparently. I'm gonna pull out that for him. But this part is really fun for the quick scoping. It really is. Oh, that was a good headshot. And then there's gonna be one more up here. I'm gonna see if I can... I think he's got a little bit of an invulnerability. Yeah, he's got a little invulnerable phase. But that allows Chase to make it safely over here. Otherwise, she just dies and you have to redo the whole thing again. And this is where it gets kind of dangerous because now there's going to be a turret shooting at us. I'm not exactly sure how the cutscene triggers. I don't know if it's a set number of bullets into the turret gun. It seems like it's different every time I try. There we go. So we can't shoot them. We can shoot these explosives though.
Nice.
And that's how we escape from the enemy there. We got one more boosty here. I think that was one of the fun things that happened during this casual play. Boosties every single time you need to boost a character. All right, kick down the gutter for us. So once we get to the top, I'm going to pull out the West. The guns are not going to matter at this point. These chapters really fly. They're going to fly like you wouldn't believe. Waste all that ammo. It's not going to matter. That's the end of chapter 10 right there. So with this, at this point, Guerro corners us yet again, makes us drop our guns. But somehow we manage to get out of that kerfuffle, and this turns into a chase sequence, no pun intended. So at this point, it's just run away from the guys. There we go. The unfortunate thing is you have to wait for that first guy to shoot before you get the combat speed, which is why I do the jumps at the beginning. We can try to cut the corner at one spot. It may result in a death, just depending on the angle I get. Right here. Let's see if I get it or not. There we go. Nope, it died. It was too sharp an angle, unfortunately. So luckily, that's not the worst death that can happen. I've died several times on the final log at the very end because it can be kind of janky to get on that log, believe it or not. So dying at the end of the chapter is so much worse. So I'm just going to take a little safer this time and just go the normal way. The one thing with this part is if you get a little bit too far ahead of Chase, though, one of the enemies that you have to melee, you end up doing a full attack sequence, which is very unfortunate. It's this guy in particular. But luckily with her close by, you just get the one-shot kill with the melee, which I kind of wish happened more often, but you know, it's fine. We've got one more guy to shove off. There we go. And then this log has wrecked a few runs, not gonna lie. But just like that, we're already done with chapter 11.
You made it look easy. You could totally say, oh yeah, easiest log in the game. No worries.
Oh no, that's gonna be coming up very shortly. Like I said, these chapters are extremely short. So this is where we get the tilt controls. This is exclusive tilt controls. This mudslide, you have to avoid these rocks by tilting left and right. During an all treasures run, as I hit a rock. During an all treasures run, though, this section is really annoying because some of these rocks do have treasure you need to collect as you're going down, trying to avoid these rocks.
You're trying to avoid them, but also like navigate closer to them.
You have to be tapping on the screen right as the prompt shows up so you can collect it, which is very annoying to do as you're trying to tilt the controller at the same time.
That does sound rough.
And especially like this section on crushing, believe it or not, is extremely hard since you get fewer hits before you die. All right, and just like that, that's the end of the chapter.
Easy.
And if you think that chapter was fast, just wait for the next one. And after we get through this next one, that probably would be the good time for the break, like I mentioned. So with this chapter, I'm just going to wait for it a little bit. This is all an exposition and treasure collecting chapter. This is just setting up plot in Perez's office. And by the way, this is the one time the PS Vita camera is used. That's the one time it's ever used. And that's part of the reason why it's a blacklisted game. So here we're just waiting for certain cues for them to say before we can skip the movie. And just like that, we are done with the chapter.
I think if I ever started a band, I think I'd call it exposition and treasure hunting. Like that, I think that goes pretty hard.
Wait, Chase, this has been here for weeks.
All right, so I know we're scheduled for 2 breaks. This is gonna lead into a whole nother part. So if we want to take a break, this might be a good time for a stretch break here.
Yes, we will. Yeah, we'll decide to have a break there. Everybody, we are gonna have just a quick break, quick wellness break. So this gives everybody a chance to get up, have a stretch, stay hydrated, and yeah, make sure that you're comfortable for the rest of this run. It's good to take care of yourselves as well as enjoy the games that are on show. I'm thoroughly enjoying this so far. And we look forward to seeing you back after this about 5 or so minute break. So enjoy the music and we will see you on the flip side. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed having just a little step away from the computer and a little bit of a stretch, and make sure that you're staying hydrated as well. We are back with Going Places. This is the Games Done Quick Hotfix that looks at games from around the world, as well as the games that we take around the world. So region exclusives and handheld game speedruns. Before we go back into this very good Uncharted run, I'd just like to remind you, it is spooky season. It is October, and Fright for Towels is going to be happening. This is a one-day event on October the 23rd to celebrate spooky season with dark, scary, or horror-themed speedruns from the Frame for Towels community. If you use !Fright in the Twitch chat, you can see the schedule. And then on October the 31st, we have a Halloween Spooktacular hosted by Ecdysis and Smooth Operative. You should definitely check all of those out. But again, we're here for the adventures. We're not here for the spookiness. Although who knows, maybe this game might turn spooky later on. But we are back with 2K3 with some more Uncharted. Take it away.
All right, so at this point, like I said, it was a great break to take there because we are in a completely new region. At this point, we are following really close in Perez's footsteps, Chase's grandfather. We're going to get this map, which that was another map that was torn to pieces. That's very annoying to put together. That's going to be useful to us later.
Remember the monkey bars?
So at this point, it's just another climbing around, get to from point A to point B as quick as you can type of thing. It's not really too much doing here. We are going to give Chase another boosty here. Let's wait for her. This is the one annoying thing with the boost. You literally have to wait for the character to finish their climbing. So boosties, there we go. And we can speed up this next part a little bit faster. If we wait for this box to drop, we can time it well enough. We can just jump straight on it like that.
Nice.
Come on.
And I'm going to see if I can manipulate the AI for her to try to drop down. I haven't done it in a while because you need a pretty precise angle. Nope, I did not get her to drop down. So we're going to have another
Go across here.
balance skip here. This one is, again, it's pretty risky.
Careful.
I got it though.
Hey, nice.
Just climb around.
That one again, it's just there's so much death in the area. You mess up that first jump, which I do all the time. You're just straight up dead. And you can get in front of Chase normally if you roll off, but again, it's very dangerous in my opinion. And plus, having Chase in front of me will actually, I find it nice for this next thing that's coming up here. So we get a giant hole in the ground, which I love the lines that happen here.
The Spanish didn't dig this time.
We're going to do a blind jump from here. No, but he hit the side. That's very unfortunate. Normally what we're supposed to do, we're getting ahead of Chase on the rope. When Chase gets on the rope first, it's very useful because it just acts as a little buffer for him actually hitting the rope. There have been times where, I get ahead of there before her. And that jump just is so much harder without her there. I don't know what it is. Just using her body as a little no, I'm not. I showed it off once. I'm just going to go across. I don't want to die again.
Better safe than sorry.
Well, yeah, we'll play it safe on this one. All right, so let's try to head down again. We're going to try that jump again because that was weird. That usually doesn't happen where he just hits the side and dies. I don't know why that happened, honestly. It's just like I touched a part that you're not supposed to whatsoever, I guess.
Thick skin, I guess.
I don't even know. Hi, please grab the rope. Yeah, this game can get very jank when you're trying to do basic stuff like rope grabbing. Alright, so we'll try this one more time. Up here?
Wrath of God.
No, okay, it was too early. So we'll just go around and do it the normal way, which is very unfortunate. But, we gotta live with it. It's fine. It's fine, right?
Come on. Let's go this way.
No. Slow down there, Slick. Don't get too far.
We are getting to very close to what I consider the hardest trick in the game, though.
Nice jeans, they.
This is definitely not it. It's the next chapter that's got that trick going. So that will be one I actually go for a handful of times. So we're just gonna bounce again. Yep.
Way down.
Even though you told us careful, it doesn't matter. We still get a balance. Oh wow, that was really rocking back and forth that time. It's funny because those bounces too. You can either, get it to the little nub to like not move whatsoever,
Come on, slow.
or it moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour, like that one did.
No in between.
Hey, you think I'd
There are occasions where you can get it to kind of settle down, but it's very rare at that
Become
point.
ungovernable.
I heard.
All right, so we're just gonna
Spanish didn't dig
take
this
our
giant
time. We're gonna follow Chase. Unfortunate. Womp womp.
I'm just kidding.
Just make sure I don't roll off the edge here, because that death would be. I don't even know what I'm doing at that point.
It's better than a greasy chain.
But this is why getting ahead of the NPC is so much better. I mean, you can see how slow she goes compared to us being able to just slide down the
Yeah.
rope.
So long as Guerrero's thugs aren't cutting him.
Hey, don't jinx us.
And we have to do the slow walk. All right, so chapter 15, it's kind of like chapter 9 at least at the very beginning of the chapter. We're gonna have a lot of sequence breaking. So normally, you know, we're trying to find a way into that door. That door won't move. There's a whole nother door that's just covered with bricks. We'll see plenty of more of those ones, so you guys won't miss anything. You'll see how it works. You bang that 3 times. You're supposed to climb up a tube, get up to a door area. We're just gonna bypass all that to get Chase up to the top.
What is that?
Well, first, that was a mud-covered badge from Perez. So what we're actually gonna do, we're gonna line up here. Whoop. Line up here so Drake is kind of halfway off. And try to grab the stairs that we're not supposed to climb. There we go. There it is. So once we get up here, we're gonna roll across this ledge. She's gonna head towards that door you're normally supposed to break down. In the meantime, we're gonna jump across this gap. And then this jump across is a little bit tight. It's pretty easy to miss the angle or the distance. I barely got that.
Wait here. I think I can make that.
And that will get Chase to make it back up to us to proceed to the next part of this, because we're gonna jump back across. Yeah, that jump, it's so easy to fall. Luckily, you don't die when you fall. You just have to redo that ledge jump up to the stairs, and it's very annoying.
At the door. You there?
All right, so we just gotta let her through the door. This time, unfortunately, though, she does not help us open this door, so.
Open.
Here she is.
You made it.
All right. Roll back across the ledge, and this is going to be the point where this may take a handful of attempts to get. I really want to show this off if I
Here, I'll
can.
jump up and grab this one.
So we're each going to grab a gargoyle head. I'm just going to get ready with this gun here. Before we start the clip, I'm actually going to grab a sniper rifle, because if I do manage to get the clip, we're definitely going to need bullets for a later section. So we grab you. We're going to go into here. So we're going to do our cover clip. Once we clip in, we're going to try to do a roll and hopefully land on a sarcophagus that's below us. Then we have to do 2 precise jumps to get to the cutscene trigger. Let's see if I get this or not. Oh, I got the roll, but I didn't land on it. If that doesn't work the second time, I'm going to try an alternate strat for the 3rd time. I found playing around with it that there is another way that you can do that clip, and it works really well as a backup if you don't even roll. Get the roll, sometimes you'll just stand on top of that initial sarcophagus you clipped onto.
We believe you
Let's
can
try
do
this
it. I
again.
think chat believes that you can do it. Chat, do we believe that you can do it?
I really hope I can get this to show this off, because like I said, this is by far the hardest thing I've had to learn for this game. Okay, so clip here. Try to get the camera right. Oh, okay, that's first part. Second part.
Hey!
There it is. There we go. I'm so
Let's
happy I
go.
got that. So after that point, we actually have to restart the checkpoint. Because otherwise we cannot do our charcoal rubbings that we don't have to rub. But essentially at this point here, we need to get a password in order to open that door. Chase is going to take the 3 easiest ones, and then we just get to go around this maze of an area to get the other 4. So we're going to get a first one here. And this one, it's interesting because if you notice on the very last click I had to do, and for any one that Chase gets, I have to actually click on the bottom left instead of the bottom right. to accept that that's done.
Great.
So it's very weird to get used to at first, because it's completely the opposite side of where you'd think it would be. All right, so we go up here, and there is a little bit of a sequence break with this too, going from the second one to the third one. Once we get there, I'll explain it a little bit more, but right now we're just heading to that second one. And definitely one of the things I agree with Drake is, how did they get some of these where they are? it's insane. Please, there we go. Here's the second one.
I got the second one.
Okay, so we're gonna line up here. We're gonna jump on. Nope, come on. You need to run and jump, or else you just kind of jump straight up.
See, you tore the paper, didn't you?
Making fun of Chase.
Nice.
Nope, that's too far. That's very unfortunate. So I don't get to show that off. Normally you go on top of that set of rocks, and you can jump to the handholds that are across the gap there. It definitely saves time, because this is the alternate way that you have to go that I have to show now, unfortunately, with that reset.
I got the second one.
You asked me to do it.
Where is... There it is.
Yes, I remember.
I always have to remember where I have to go here. So this is the normal way that you have to go for this third one. And I can show you guys where it would have taken me if I actually got to even attempt that gap jump. But it's a lot of climbing I have to do now. I have to go into this tube here. And so I can make it up to the next floor. Skip a jump there. And every time I get to this one, I think of Futurama. Cute and cuddly taper. So if you see the statues over there, it would have taken me to these handholds that are right at his feet. So very unfortunate I missed that, because that saves a lot of climbing I have to do.
Yeah, it's a regular zoo in here.
And this one is probably the most annoying one to get, though, this last one.
Perfect sense.
There's one thing that can happen on the way back with these beams. I don't know what causes it, but there have been a couple of times where Drake will just, on the way back, clip through some of those beams. And instead of grabbing the first, the closest one from him swinging, he'll just latch on to the second or third beam. So I'm kind of hoping it happens here, because that would be interesting if, obviously it's interesting if it happens and it's faster. Last guy, all the way up here. Yeah, how'd they get him up there? Seriously. So all those guys with the charcoal rubbings that we did, they end up giving a code for the door.
Good job.
And honestly, it's it's a little annoying to solve, so I'm glad that we don't actually have to input the thing. All right, we didn't get it on the first one. I have not figured out if there's a consistent way to trigger it or not, so yeah, we didn't get the second time either. But on the way back, like I said, sometimes he can end up on that third beam. It happened in one of my PBs, so it was really cool for that, but just a little less climbing. The climbing can get tedious, definitely, especially where you're just mashing the X button. That's why I like is that the casual playthrough was so nice to be able to just, oh yeah, touch down here, that's where you're going, and he just slow climbs everywhere, and you can just take your hands off the controller, put it down.
Chase, over here.
All right, so now we bother Chase enough to get over here.
Line up the symbols we got from
Hey, look at that, the code solved itself. All right, and so remember that door I mentioned that we didn't have to break down? Yeah, this is what it looks like. It's just a bunch of stones blocking a door. The one that we skipped with Chase, you actually need to do the swipe 3 times in order for them to break it down. All right, just like that, we are done with chapter 15.
Nice, making good progress.
We are getting closer and closer to possibly finding Perez, since he was on the trail for the Sword of Stephen is what we're after right now. The Sword of Stephen is going to let us know where the treasure is fully hidden at this point. We are only at location number 2 that we need to be. For those that are interested in the actual story of this game. So this has probably one of the coolest puzzles in the game, the Chamber of the Seven Fathers. Oh, Denise, I gotta wait for her to say that. And then this one I can skip immediately. So with this puzzle, you have the seven fathers. Each one has a different gold item to represent where on the board you need to place them.
Nate, up here.
And essentially you need one in each row or column lines up with a couple of the different tiles. Funny thing is, my casual play, I actually found a second correct solution for the puzzle, but it doesn't work. There's only one technically correct solution according to the game.
Careful.
All right, so we get 3 movies we have to skip here. Fancy. And unfortunately, Chase is down there first because... there's Perez. He's deceased. That's very unfortunate. The one thing that's very weird about this area, though, in that room is a photo you need to take for a collectible.
Perez was so close.
And you're doing it while Chase is mourning her dead grandfather.
Oh my gosh.
It's so bad. It's so
See what you got, Steve.
I felt so bad when I had to do it initially. But the thing is, so with Perez, he actually had terminal cancer, so he knew he was going to pass away anyway. So he was just trying to get as far as he could to the treasure. So this is the one that's going to make one of the bigger puzzles. We need to do. Well, we were normally supposed to do 6 different charcoal rubbings of 3 map pieces each. And this will come into play later. So once we do that,
It's quite an impressive sword.
there we go. It's such a cool looking sword. It really is. So all those different tile pieces, those are going to show where our next destination is.
Let's go see what.
Okay.
I'd listen to him, babe.
Wait for the babe. And then we can skip this one immediately. So Dante is working with Guerrero. He actually gets betrayed by Guerrero right in that particular moment.
Steady
Nope.
now.
That guy did not want to cooperate. So we're gonna instead shoot the guy with the chain gun, so we can take the chain gun, try to kill this guy before he gets... I didn't get him. That guy can be really annoying because... No! He went the place I didn't want him to go at all. Oh, that's gonna be annoying to get him. I'll have to chase him down after. That's really unfortunate. One time I found him all the way down that way, and it's very annoying. But for the most part, you know, we know where these guys spawn. This part is where my console may start getting slowdowns. Oh, you came back! Look at that! Sweet! Thank you so much, dude. Alright. There we go. I'm so happy he came back. It's so annoying to chase him down.
Dante.
So Dante is not actually dead. Fortunate or unfortunate, you know, it's whatever way you want to look at it. So from here, we're gonna keep our handgun out of ammo. And I did not see an AK, unfortunately, there like it usually is. Roll down here. So we get that. And just like that, that's another chapter done. These chapters, like I said, they can be extremely short, but there are a ton of them. Most of the Uncharted games are, between 22, 26 chapters. This one, including the prologue, has 35 chapters in total. So it's lengthier in terms of the chapter count. So Dante is actually going to help us with this door. How amazing is that?
That is character
the funny thing
progression
is
right there.
his swipe is actually different. Now here's the thing, Dante here, because we don't trust him, especially after we just saw him with Guerrero, the enemy. Yeah, we're not gonna have him have a gun, so we have to escort him just like Chase. That's fine. We're gonna stealth kill you right in front of your friend who doesn't see me. Stealth kill you. And I didn't worry about the AK because there's one here. Use our unloaded gun to be stealthy and go faster. Gonna jump over here. And we don't have to worry too much about the handgun ammo because the next section, it's just going to let us refill infinitely until we get through that section. That guy I just killed though. I always get the slow kill. I don't know how to get the faster kill with him. It's very
I'm a big fan of one of the melee
But
kills, like starting off where it looks like you're just getting a piggyback off the enemy. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that last one. Yeah, you mentioned it will happen. So yeah, remember I have no bullets. Give it a second. Yep, there we go. Now we get bullets because you're only allowed to use a handgun in this section for obvious reasons. Oh, and so this turns into a pseudo chase escort mission. We just have to make sure she doesn't get shot and died from these guys. So we're just gonna try to progress over to different points to shoot these guys. Try not to waste the bullet so I don't have to reload before I have a moving part, because I really want to at least get to this pillar. It's a lot of climbing and monkeying around that we have to do. Can I get this headshot? Yep, there we go. No, that wasn't a headshot. Ah, dang it. It looked like one. Hey, 1,000. There we go. You can tell, especially with speedrunning, how much that you have to, how much I've played this game just with the different number of kills for different things. I think the sniper is probably one of the highest kill counts. I think when I saw it last, it was at like 1,700, which is really insane when you think about it. Just a single gun has that many kills on a save file. All right. The problem is I can't manually reload. I have to completely annihilate the clip. And this is where the aim gets really hard because my thing is on him, but he's not getting hit at all, which it's very frustrating for this section. And that's where that bullet spray really comes to bite you in the butt sometimes. But this next section is going to be so much easier because you see that turret? Oh yeah, we get to have turret fun.
Nice.
Because now it's Dante's turn, and of course he can't defend himself. We don't want him to have a gun. So this section, as long as you know where the enemies spawn from, it really is not bad at all. So the Japanese version, you actually have to click on it in order to get on it. But the US version, it just latches you right on. So we're just gonna take out these 4 before they even come into frame. And then there should be, yep, here he is. And we're just gonna slowly, well, hopefully not too slowly, but we're just gonna methodically pick all these guys off. As long as you have an idea of where the turret kind of aims, because it's a little bit down right of the center, it's not too bad to aim to shoot the guys. The other thing I'm doing is instead of holding the fire button, I'm actually pressing and unpressing. That's just so the recoil is not nearly as bad, because if I just let it go, you can see how that recoil is just insane in terms of accuracy.
It's always nice having infinite ammo as well. I imagine, is that something that changes depending on the difficulty?
For turrets, I think it might. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've done a crushing run. I did that way back when I was working on the platinum trophy for this. It might have ammo. It might have a limited ammo capacity. But you know, again, if you burst fire, you know where it's aiming. It's not too bad of a thing. All right, so one final swipe. He's gonna help us with this door. All right, and so this section here is why I picked up the AK. I kind of wish I had a little bit more ammo, but a couple of these guys will drop more. Pick up those nades. That's gonna be for later. It's like the room right after this. Yep, there's one of the AKs. There we go. Just making our way downtown, killing all these guys. One more reload, because this room can get very... Oh man, this room can get really bad. So we're gonna throw our nades. We're gonna throw 3. Hopefully that takes care of that guy. We're gonna take up the sniper here. That guy is right on me. Not even your helmet's not. Where'd you come from? And this is what I mean, that this room can get very rough to do.
Slow motion fights.
Oh, please. Yeah, and this is why you don't want to get stuck in these melees either. Oh. Nope. Hold on. I really want to take off your helmet and headshot you. As I reload. Great.
Good timing.
Oh, I'm just hoping I don't die in this section. Oh, Dante actually killed somebody. Look at that. Yeah, because of course at this point where there's so many of these guys, he's got to have a gun or else, yeah, there's no way he's surviving. We got a couple more guys. One of these guys, I think it was the last guy I shot. I think he has a Wes. We're just going to make sure we grab that before, yep, there it is. Before we get here. So this next section, I actually watched a run from MattMatt, who's the other person who's run the US version. I found this strat thanks to watching his run. So definitely check out runs on leaderboards. You never know what people are doing. Normally we're supposed to do this long traversal around, climbing up and around, and Dante distracts the turret gun. But if we do a couple of precise jumps here, we're trying to get on that first brick that's right here. It's nice that I can point it.
Nice.
And then jump up here. There we go. That's very tricky to do, but yeah, that just prevents us from having to do a bunch of climbing around, waiting for Dante to distract the turret. There's going to be another chapter that will have that, so you'll see, you know, how it's normally supposed to work. But that one, it's so nice that we're able to just skip that like that. And like I said, I wouldn't have even known that if I did not watch that run from MattMatt, who's, I mean, he's basically the series moderator. So, you know, big thanks to him for keeping supervision of all the leaderboards and stuff for all the Uncharted games.
I'm a big fan of you like pointing out where that brick was, like it was a PowerPoint presentation or something. It's just like, well, as you can see on this little bit here.
It's funny because I actually kind of forgot I could do that. I'm like, oh yeah, I can actually point stuff out in this game because people can see my hand where I'm touching. All right, so shoot this helmet, please. Thank you. All right. So at this point here, I'm going to try to cause the game to lag to get Dante to fall. But he made the jump. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this section in particular, it really lags the PS TV. I don't know if it does with the PS Vita. But I try to use it to my advantage because if I can get Dante to fall there, then I don't have to wait for him to do a bunch of this climbing in this section. It's pretty consistent to get that much lag when you pull out your weapon, which is kind of funny that it's that consistent. But this area in particular, this is where you're gonna see the most lag on the PS TV, which is a little unfortunate, but it really isn't too bad otherwise. All right, so we get the camera change. Yeah, so this is just, you know, typical escape sequence. The enemy decided, oh yeah, if we can't get the treasure, we're just gonna blow everything up. You know, it's just the typical evil guy trope,
no fun
right?
allowed.
Come on, we gotta find Chase.
All right, let's see if I can time this so we shimmy at the same time. I might not get it. Oh, there we go. Synchronized shimmy. All right, so the West is gonna come in handy coming up here too, because as we continue our climb up, and I should have reloaded before, but there's gonna be guys that are in these windows trying to shoot at us. Luckily, there's only 3, but it's still very annoying, and especially if you have a weaker handgun, you have to shoot them twice typically. This part is much more lenient with headshots, I will say.
I was about to say, like, you'd be nailing them.
Well, with the West, like I said, with the West, it's very useful to have because it's a one-shot kill for the majority of enemies, which is very great.
Nice.
The nice thing is we'll get more West ammo with the start of this chapter here. They just give you a West because they know this next bit is rough. We're still escaping, by the way. It's just we're going from the underground to above ground, which is why it's got to load more data. I do have to say I really like how this game reuses the different scenery and whatnot, because a lot of games it's you're just kind of you go on one path and then you just go a completely different way. But this one you're actually retraversing things you've traversed down, which I think is a really nice touch. So yeah, that was the shaft that we went down, I'm pretty sure, before I failed that jump to the other rope.
Why is everything so damn high?
All right, so there's gonna be two guys to the left. I'm just gonna wait till I get all the way up top.
They're shooting at us.
Get you there. Oh, hi. The aim is so annoying in this game sometimes. All right, we're gonna try to shoot this guy before. Oh wow, that rocket always looks like it's gonna just nail you right in the face. All right, so then we get another chain gunner here. This one we're gonna go for the head. That's the quickest way. Well, that actually worked. There we go. That one, that headshot is much more lenient than some of the other ones, I feel, too. Now we're gonna have one of my favorite long guns, the M79. It's just a rocket, well, it's a grenade launcher. If we hit the target directly, it will explode. If not, it ends up just acting as a regular grenade. Get a couple more guys over here. Yep, there's the regular grenade. Got one more guy. But there we go. And then this right here, this is the easiest balance skip. Anybody can do this. You just come over here, aim for that wall. As long as you grab on, it's free. You don't even have to go anywhere across the bridge there. And just like that, we are at the end of this chapter.
Why are the cars on fire?
And if you guys thought chapter 13 was short, boy howdy, do I have a surprise for you with this chapter. So the other thing too, if you remember way back in chapter 1, how I had that one puzzle I had to solve, and I said the JP version had one puzzle of theirs to solve. Yeah, I'll let you guys see the puzzle JP has to solve. So we're gonna skip this movie. That's the puzzle JP has to solve.
This is the charcoal rubbing.
It's a little.
So, like I said, I will gladly take the puzzle we have to do.
It's a little bit intense, that one. Just a few more moving pieces.
So that's the map from the sword that we did the rubbings on. The 6 clicks that we had to do. And from here on, we meet back up with Sully. If you guys have played the regular Uncharted games, you'll know him. This chapter is probably one of the greatest chapters, and I will point out the reason why when we actually get to it. But I will say this chapter, just the banter between the two, like I said, Ben did a really good job in terms of just the dynamics between the characters, conversations. It's so good. It's just such good writing. It feels like it doesn't miss a beat in terms of the Uncharted universe. So kind of like the Muddy River Fall 2, this has also got charcoal rubbings along the way. And normally you're supposed to stop to get those if you're trying to get the all collectibles. But for the most part, we're just bypassing them.
Are you steering this with the swipes, or is that something that you're doing with an analog stick, or is it just sort of? This
is completely on the rail. All we're doing is the swipes are paddling the canoe.
Yeah.
So definitely, if there's any interesting questions in chat or anything like that, or anything you want to talk about really quick, this would be the perfect time to. It's pretty quiet for a bit here.
We've still got some love for the run, and hey, maybe later on we might have some love for the show after this as well. Not only is Going Places on tonight, but so is Think Fast, which is like a speedrun quiz show type thing where they have racers going against each other in different games. And yeah, I need to actually properly watch an episode, but I've heard it's a lot of fun. And tonight we're going to be having Splatoon 2 and 3 happening, which I've heard a lot of hype about Splatoon 3, and I know a little bit about the other games, but not all that much. So definitely worth checking that out after this. After this run, I'm enjoying this run as well.
I'm glad people are enjoying this. And like I said, if you really enjoy this game, if you enjoy the Uncharted series, I definitely would recommend watching a full playthrough of this game. The story is just really good for, you know, a game that's not made by Naughty Dog. So here, a little bit of a hiccup. There's a waterfall, so we actually need to swipe the other way to make sure we don't, you know, go down the waterfall and perish. We blame Sully for losing the GPS, and then Nate had the map upside down. Great team.
Professionals.
But right after this cutscene here, this is going to be the best part of any Uncharted game. I'm gonna wait till we actually hit it first before I reveal. I don't want to reveal too early.
Mental drum roll.
Because this is the one time you get to play as Sully. The only time ever you get to play as Sully. So this is just an on-the-rail shooter. Oh, that was actually a really nice double. I don't think I've seen that one before. So Nate's paddling. It's on the rails. We just need to shoot the enemies as they come. On crushing, this part is... You're going to die a lot. You're going to die a lot on crushing with this part. But yeah, this part is just really fun in general if you're on the easier difficulties. You just get to blow everyone up and all of that. Let's see, can I get that guy to drop without dying? No, unfortunate. There's one or two enemies I was able to... Where's that guy shooting from? I have no idea where that one set of bullets was coming from. There is at least one guy that a couple times I've made him drop into the water without actually killing him. It actually... One here? Oh, I didn't get the shot through, unfortunately. Let's see if I can show it off, though. Kind of tricky to get. I'm not getting it. It's fine. We'll just kill him. That's one of the ones that can fall off and just keep shooting you from the water. In the, you know, the piranha-infested water. Don't know how he survived that, but... That's the last guy, and we're going to shoot the bridge that we need to cross eventually, because that seems pretty safe, right? I don't know. It seems safe to me.
A little bit of tomfoolery.
Alright, so from here, the boat sinks. Unfortunate. Oh! Ooh, I jumped the wrong way. Let's try to get ahead of Sully here. There we go. So again, rule. Try to stay ahead of the NPCs. They climb slow. Sully is absolutely no exception to that, for obvious reasons, but the other thing too is with this part here, it's actually easier to get this bound skip if we're ahead of him. And I got it. There we go. Because normally he stops at a very specific point on the bridge to be like, oh, hey, this feels kind of unstable. You need to watch out. And otherwise you have to do like a weird roll if you want to skip it, and it's so not worth it at that point. All right, so traveling with Sully. Sully's great because he actually does help you. He's got a stronger gun. He doesn't really kill too many people. But I'd much rather have him over Chase or Dante in some parts. So we're going to start off by killing these guys here. Go to the other side. We're going to... Hopefully this guy will drop his AK so we can grab it, because I don't like the FAL. There we go. We're not going to use it quite yet, though. We're going to save it. Oh, if I can shoot this guy, that'd be great. Hi. The aim is really janky in this game, so... I'm definitely... I'll admit I'm missing a little bit more than I normally would, too, but... It's so hard to aim at some points in this game. So the reason I like picking up that AK, though, like I said, over the FAL, because the FAL is like a triple burst gun. It's just better, personally, to fire with the AK. But we're wasting the ammo so we can get that faster run.
Really cheap.
And here's the other turret climbing part. And this is what we would have done with Dante, because we have to climb around, get to certain points, climb up there, please. Sully's going to distract him at certain points to make it easier for us so we don't get completely obliterated. Like there. Hi, get him off me. There we go. Definitely don't want to die here. And especially on crushing, the timing window that you have to be able to like make those gaps is ridiculous. We're gonna come up here. I'm actually gonna grab this handgun here because I'd rather shoot this guy with these bullets. And you don't get that many, which is unfortunate. But that, again, that's why I like trying to pick up that AK. So now it's Sully's turn to climb, and because we're at a turret, we get to use the turret again. The turrets are always fun to use, honestly. Anytime you can use a turret in any game. These enemies can be really annoying because they really like trying to go behind these rock pillars and whatnot, and it's very annoying because sometimes they'll just stay behind a pillar. Like that guy is going behind a pillar. He at least came out, which is nice, but sometimes they'll try to stay behind there, and especially if you're not lucky, Sully can just get killed by one of those guys, but luckily they're all done. And if you thought Chase was the only one getting boosties, you are completely wrong.
Come on, I'll give you a boost.
Alright, boosties
Suela ever complain about you?
for Sully here.
Imagine you might be just a little bit harder to get up there.
That was nothing.
Alright, so we're gonna pull out our handgun, because again, we're trying to get ahead of Sully for this particular rope. That was a good block. Because otherwise, we would have to wait for him to swing completely across. Also, these gaps
No, not really.
that you're gonna see Nate make it across, some of these jumps are so unrealistic. It's funny. Some of the rope ones in general are really like far distances, and there's going to be one gap in particular I will 100% point it out. It's just hilarious to see. Special jump there gets us across that point very nicely. So we get the slow walk. That's where the roll comes in handy again. Do it again there. And yeah, we've left Sully in the dust. It's fine. He'll catch up to us, I think.
Claustrophobic much?
If I start screaming, just slap me.
And the thing I love with that line, with the claustrophobic, if any of you guys have played the Uncharted games, you'll know. Uncharted? Oof. Okay, that jump was a little hinky. That was really sketch. Uncharted 3 actually has a character that suffers from claustrophobia, and it does come into play within that game. So it's really funny to have that line within this game. So let's jump here. If I go upright, there we go. I don't have to hit any of those other handholds. That's the end of that chapter. But unfortunately, we are now separated from Sully. So this part becomes a tandem of, make it to a point, and then we need to help Sully because there's going to be turrets. We're both just trying to get upriver as best as we can on the sides of the river that we're on. So
after all that time, Sully wasn't okay. Unbelievable.
All right, so we're gonna just jump, and this is going to be, oh geez, Spire just landed right on me as I was doing that. This is gonna be the first of the fights that we need to do. And like I said, this is why having the AK is nice here, because it just helps us mow these guys down a bit quicker, especially with that shotgunner guy in the back there. All right, lock on to you. Oh, you didn't die. Handgun for these guys because they're only going to take 2 bullets. Which once you know like how many bullets it takes for each gun, it's really nice to know what works well and what doesn't. So that's the first turret we need to take out for Sully. We're not even going to bother with that dragon sniper because we can just pistol him.
Even if it didn't take forever.
Weird camera. It's normally supposed to go up top just like that. And this is the swinging thing I was talking about. In other games, you would just be able to immediately swing to the next one. In this game, you have to actually wait for the animation to fully stop before he swings. All right, so we gotta help Sully navigate another bunch of enemies. We get another turret here, so we get to have some fun once again. This one I think is probably the trickiest one to do quick, just because there's way more low cover, and you can see that they barely, you know, pop out of it in terms of like how tall they actually are. I gotta take out sniper. There's another one to the right. It's gonna be a third one to the left at some point spawning up. I will admit I have shot Sully way more times than I like to admit, because I think he's an enemy. His shirt blends in with a lot of the other shirts, to be fair. Yeah, see, that guy is in a very annoying spot. Okay, we got that line, so that means we are done. Reload the ammo while we got this guy come down. Yeah, and if you notice the big guys, that guy took 3 of those pistol bullets, which that's why, you know, if you can, you try to save the one-shot bullets for him. Why'd you grab there? Yeah, this game, when you like push jump, it will try to latch you onto different cliffs and whatnot. These jumps are ridiculous. Like, there's no way he's actually making these.
The immersion might have just been broken a little bit there.
Can't get across. I'm too high up to climb down.
All right, so Sully is officially trapped. He can't do anything up there. So we gotta take out this first wave of enemies that's already here. No, I didn't want to fist fight you. At least we got a one swiper, but still, I really didn't. Trying not to fist fight if I can. Try to get this guy with a headshot. There we go. And now we got to cut down this bridge for him to cross. And with that in place, we are going to have to start the second round of firefights here. So it can get a little laggy here as well, just because there's so many enemies that are coming up on us. Okay, that was a good headshot there. It's gonna be another one of those shotgunner guys that we gotta watch out for. He's probably coming in any second. There he is. Right as I say that. Okay, I'm just gonna melee him. It's fine. Okay. Some of the melee animations are pretty funny, honestly. Yeah, I really need to take out this guy. Dang it. Come on. Okay, there we go. I got lucky with that headshot there. There's a sniper directly above us, but that guy... Okay, that guy dipped away, so I'm gonna... Okay, there we go. This section can really get annoying because these guys will utilize a different cover. And what was that? I don't even know what I don't even know what happened there. I'll be perfectly honest. He just launched on his own.
Is it safe to say that that's never happened before?
Yeah, that one's never happened.
We've made it, everyone. You said it.
All right, this section coming up has lost me more runs than I would like to admit, because I don't like to kill these guys until the very end. So we get a QTE swipe there. And we're gonna just cut a lot of angles. There's gonna be 2 snipers that are gonna be gunning for us. And like I said, we're gonna keep them alive as long as we can. Because if I can get close enough to them, I can just melee them. But unfortunately, you get hit twice by them, you're pretty much dead. Drop down. This first guy is gonna hit me. Yep, there it is. I had some kind of bad movement though. Is he just gonna fall off? He's not. Sometimes he'll just straight up fall off. Please get up. Yep, there it is. Okay. So I'm just gonna have to take out the guys. But I was a little too slow in getting up. Like I said, sometimes that climbing movement can be really jank, so I'll end up having to take out at least one of those guys sooner rather than later. Probably when I'm directly above them. That has lost me more runs than I definitely would like to admit. Not that in particular, but it's like, I mean, you can see how long this climbing takes. So I can at least get a beat on this guy, right? Yeah, headshot him. Okay. And then I can take you out.
Just flank him and shoot.
If I don't need to reload, I can take you out. There we go. Yeah, so now I literally don't even need to worry about those guys whatsoever. It's just gonna be nice, clean climbing from here on out. Normally, what I can do is if you melee this guy, then you climb up here. You can either shoot the other guy from there, or if you get far enough along this ledge, he won't be able to hit you, so then you can just push him off that cliff. That's right there. We jump across that gap.
Look, I can't help you if I'm dead.
Yeah, Sully is just complaining because he's getting shot up by a turret. He's fine. He's undercover. He's not gonna die. You're fine, Sully. We're here now.
Nice job.
All right, lean back, jump up here.
Generali's got in his back pocket.
And this is the point where we will eventually meet back up with Sully. It's just gonna
We gotta
take
get
us some
closer to the
time
camp.
to get to the same side as him. And one of the jokes with this chapter is literally the whole time it's, I'll see you on the other side. It gets said so many times that even Nate at one point is like saying it dryly right here.
I'll meet you on
the other side.
There it is. Perfect timing for that.
Nice.
He's like, Sully, I get it. I heard you like the first 20 times you said it.
He's had enough.
All right, this jump. That one's not nearly as like unrealistic, but it's pretty funny how like you can see how much speed he gets when he has to do these jumps.
It's pretty extreme.
Like that one, he got a speed boost in the middle. All right, and remember how I mentioned the I'll show it off here. This is actually one of those. You'll see a little camera pop up. That's where you would take a picture. Oh, I already got it, so it may not have popped up. But normally, if you want to get a one of the collectibles is taking a picture of those, you have to stay completely to the left. If you go too far right, it's literally at the end of the chapter, and you have to play the whole chapter over again if you want to get that collectible.
Oh my gosh, really? Wow.
Yes. I was lucky on my first casual play that I hugged that left wall. So I didn't end up missing
That is
it.
brutal.
There's quite a number of those where it's right at the end of a chapter. It's so, you know, especially if you're using a guide, you really have to like pay attention to what's at the end of a chapter. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna have a big fight. We're gonna take out that sniper at the top, pull out our AK, and just start mowing these guys down. There's going to be a couple of phases to the fight where enemies will just spawn in different directions. So we take out those guys there. The next wave is going to spawn here. I really would have liked to get that. There we go. And we got sniper here. There's going to be a couple more enemies that spawn down here. Let's see. Can I get this nade to just take them all out? Let's find out. I took out a couple. I might have gotten everybody with that. Let's see, is the shotgunner coming down? He's not, so I definitely missed. Yeah, I missed somebody. Really unfortunate. It's really hard to get all those guys because I don't think they all spawn at once. Alright, there's the shotgunner that we want to see. We're gonna kill him before he even makes it down. Got another sniper that's, yep, just hiding around there. If you have an idea of where the enemies spawn, it's not too bad, but it's still pretty terrible because they can just kind of go wherever they want. So if you lose track of them, it's very tricky to... It can be really tricky to re-find them again. I think there's one more, isn't there? Where is he? Oh no, we're straight on to the next phase. I actually got them all. I've never gotten that phase that quickly. Oh, hi, please, sniper. I don't want to get sniped. Thank you. We get another boosty. Oh, hi. Oh no, is he gonna flop around with Sully on him? No. Thought that was gonna look worse than it was. All right, so we did all the fighting. Now we just have to climb out of there to the next chapter trigger.
Yes.
Pull out the
it was.
handgun here.
Come on, let's get to the top of this thing so we can see where we are.
All right, climb up here. Can I do the jump to the right? Yep, there we go. For the pull up.
Just a little dizzy.
He doesn't like to pull the gun out at that point. If I grab onto the left rocks, then I don't have to use the right ones. Just little things like that just add up over time with the climbing. Anytime I do a pull up over these rocks, I try to just go neutral on everything.
Oh, I look down.
Jump over there.
I can see my house.
We're gonna have another one of those gaps where we get the
It's a nice view.
special latch on feature, just like that.
All right.
It seems like it would be scarier than it actually is, but it's mechanically tied to the game that you cannot fall there ever, which is very nice. Hi, I went into the wall too far, I
Too
guess.
much further.
Good.
Climb up to here. We get some more exposition because Sully is tired. We blame the cigars. He just blames the altitude. I think it's a combination of both, honestly. So yeah, really at this point we are on the hunt for the ancient civilization, which is the Quiviran civilization, which I believe, if I remember the lore in the game, they were before the Aztecs existed, based on the line that Sully gave, the Sully Nate banter after the canoe sunk. I'm gonna do some stealth here because I don't like triggering the guys up top. It might be a little bit slower, but I just find it comfier to do it this way. So we're just gonna melee all these guys while, the friends kind of pseudo watch. That last guy in particular that we're going to take care of has a Wes, and we're gonna really hope it doesn't fall off the edge here. Thank you. Sweet. That Wes is gonna come in handy. I need to boost him. I also need to really reload that West. It's only got 2 bullets filled, so. All right, get on up there. Grab us. Here we go. All right, reload this. I'm actually gonna stealth this guy since of course I got the slow one. But we're gonna stealth this guy too in front of his friend. That guy actually sees me, so. It's nice to know that somebody's actually paying attention, right? Take you out. We're gonna take you out. I'm gonna pull out the AK for this last guy because I really wanna save these 2 bullets from when we go back down and just take out that last guy.
It's the last one, I think.
All right, so this gives us a clue as to where we're actually going next. Now that we're at the very top of this... Oh, don't go down. Just dancing on the rock there. Oh, why'd you grab there? That's a weird one. Oh, that was a very unfortunate first shot. We don't need to worry too much about the Wes ammo at this point though, because I'm actually gonna pick this up to make it a little quicker. Because once we start heading down on this set of ropes, there's actually grab the rope. There's a West down here. That's going to give us a ton of bullets. It's so much better to pick that up with a new gun as opposed to just refilling, because that gives a full 18 ammo. Normally if you just refill the clip while you're hanging, I almost just fell off. That would have been bad. That's what I mean with the jank of just running off a cliff. If we were to just let the game refill the ammo while we were hanging, we'd only get a max of 6 bullets, and we're going to utilize the extra ammo that we have for the next section coming up here after this chapter. So we get 2 more. That guy can be fun to kill before he jumps down, but it's really hard. This section in general is also really hard on crushing, just because, as he just said, you're sitting ducks on a rope, and if you don't shoot them quick enough, they're going to shoot you.
Last rope, I swear.
The one thing with the health system I never actually touched upon. So the health isn't actually health. It's not like how much damage you can take before you die. The health canonically is based off of a luck system. So as you get shot with bullets, you see the screen turn black. That just signifies that your luck is running low. And once you get to the point where your luck runs out, the next bullet that hits you will kill you.
Okay, interesting.
Hey,
All right.
those are Guero's
So if I'm feeling ill one day, I can just be like, oh, my luck's not great today.
cockroaches everywhere.
My luck ran out. I mean, you can try that. I don't know if it'll work in real life like that, but I mean, it's
The
certainly
doctor's
worth a try. So we
diagnosis.
picked up-
Yeah, you're just a bit unlucky today, mate. Sorry.
I'm trying to save as much. Oh, come on, please. I'm trying to save as much of that M79 ammo for this section here,
Oh shit.
because this guy is an armor-plated shotgunner, and this guy takes way more hits to kill, but it's only 2 hits with the M79. I'm just gonna use the last West bullet. It's fine.
For now.
If I go up top, though, I should be able to find a Desert 5 for this next section. Yeah, there it is. That's the other one-shot handgun. Now, this gap, this is the gap that just wait for this.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way anybody actually makes that. So Sully, of course, he doesn't make it. He's dead. Or is he? No, he's not actually dead. He fell. He's injured. Yeah, no, they wouldn't actually. I mean, come on, it's a prequel game. Uncharted 1 and 2 had already been out. 3 was coming out. There's no way they could have killed Sully in this game. He's fine.
Never in doubt.
This is easily the most hurt he's ever been in a game. He's actually got like a broken leg at that point or something. Like he is seriously injured. So
Handle this.
I'm not a...
I was wondering.
we're gonna please. I don't get how that missed twice.
Don't stand a chance against...
Really? Us?
All right, pick up those grenades. I think that should be the last of those guys. If it's not, the game will kill Sully. Nope, we were fine.
Yeah.
We got the text from Sully saying it's
Come on,
fine.
Snake Temple. It'll be that way.
Oh man.
All right, good luck, kid.
And I would say if we want to do the second break, we could probably do it at the end of this chapter, since we'll be at the beginning of the game once again.
You sure? That sounds good.
There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Pick them off. They were reporting to Guero. Well, now they can report that they're dead to Guero.
Got him.
So here we're really keeping the M79 as stocked as we can, because we're gonna need to take out a very heavy gunner enemy coming up here. Why'd you latch onto this guy? I don't know why. I'm actually also going to, just to make sure, pick up his desert ammo, so that way I've got a full clip. And then we just need to do this climb, get out of this portion of the chapter. One more. There we go. And this camera gets really weird. Like, turn. He gets so funky there. And guess what? We're at the prologue. No, wait, this is
Gosh.
yeah, no, this is where the prologue would have been. So this probably would be a good place to do the second break at this point.
Awesome. And then after that, we will be in the final stretch. So everybody, speaking of final stretch, how about we take a quick moment just to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. We are staying hydrated and well, we are well. We are going to be having a quick break, letting this yeah, and then after this, we will be finishing off this run. Just a quick heads up. Hello, YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see us whilst we are live, you can go to twitch.tv/Games Done Quick. And you can catch us as it happens. On weeknights, we are up at 7 p.m. Eastern, and weekends we start at 1 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, see you there. And yeah, we're just going to have a short break, but we'll be back shortly with the last of this run. Stay tuned in. Really sorry about that, folks. I was muted on the stream. That's my bad. But welcome back to Going Places. We've been seeing a lovely run of Uncharted. I almost said it again. Uncharted Golden Abyss. It's been a whole load of fun. But before we head back into that, we've just got a little bit more housekeeping. If you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, we are all over the place in the best sort of way. We're on YouTube through Games Done Quick. We also have a highlights channel on Games Done Quick Highlights. I could be here forever, but if you use !links in the chat, you can find out about all of the different platforms that we are on. And as well as that, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits chid on the GDQ Twitch channel help support these things happening, both with the hotfixes and with the AGDQ 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy this daily GDQ content. Speaking of GDQ content, here we are. We are in the last stretch of this Uncharted adventure. 2K, it is all yours.
Alrighty, so yeah, we're back to where we started. This is the chapter the prologue was in. So let's see how many notices we can spot between before and now. So climbing is still the same, which is fine. We drop down, but we have QTEs now. Since we know how QuickTime events work, they're just going to be throwing them in. So it's really nice how they... I really like how they eased you in with the media res. But it was definitely interesting the first time. I was not expecting the QuickTime events to end up happening. This jump, you actually land on a different spot on that beam. So that's another difference there. So we've already got two. Actually, like I mentioned, so that Japanese exclusive clip that you could do on the prologue, you actually cannot do it on this version because this chapter is extended a little bit more, and if you do that clip, you don't get the enemies you need to spawn. So we're gonna take down this guy, and this is where we're gonna go ham. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to be using the Desert 5 to try to be one-shotting all these guys so we can get to the next part. And these guys are now shotgunners instead of just traditional enemies. Hi, please. There we go.
Finally.
So those two guys completely changed as well. So what are we up to? 3 differences already in terms of that?
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, from here on out, everything is pretty much standard.
Right there.
We're just going to be killing these guys quicker since we have a better gun. And luckily we didn't go through the full clip there. Reloading just takes a lot of extra time. Depending on how many shots I take here, I might purposefully try to go for a reload, but I should be okay. I like to have at least a couple of bullets for a couple of the enemies that come up here. It's this guy in particular that we saw from the cutscene. All right, so that's where the prologue ended. Now we get to continue it. Pull out the M79. It is loaded, which is nice. We need the M79 because we are going to have This guy, oh, this is the heavy armored chain gunner. It is probably the most annoying enemy in any of the Uncharted games. Oh, is that gonna work? Oh. There we go, now he's down, okay. I always worry with those shots because, like I said, it can just turn into a regular grenade if you don't hit anything. Instead of exploding on impact, so it's hard to know if they're actually going to be in the range to get shot by them. So we make it to the other side. This part for quick scoping is really fun because the guys just kind of line up going across that lower bridge. So it makes it just really satisfying to get these kills. Thing is, you don't want them to get too close. It's going to be one more guy, but we can't turn our camera until then. It's kind of weird how the game doesn't let you turn the camera at that point. But just like that, we are done with chapter 27, aka the prologue. So at this point, this is where we finally kind of catch up with Guerrero. The whole time that we were with Sully, if you remember, what was it, around the end of chapter 17 and 18, Guerrero had Chase captured. So at this point, this is going to be the part where we go in and rescue Chase, but it's going to be a little bit more than that because we're finally getting to the nitty-gritty of where this adventure was taking us. We are getting closer and closer to the Quivarian civilization that we've been trying to find all this time. Oh, hi. Please shoot those guys. That guy is behind cover there, so I get away from him to pop out. There we go. Peekaboo. Just make our way. We've got a lot of climb traversing to do here. And of course, that's going to mean some quick time events for these as well. The snipers we don't need to worry too much about as long as we're just moving consistently. They don't really do anything to us. They just point their lasers. And just a reminder, if you do play with lasers, don't point them at people. All right. So we got this guy here. We got that guy there. Am I gonna have a reload? I definitely am now. Okay. And these guys behind the rocks, they can be annoying to hit. I will say that. We do a roll there, so that way we don't have to drop down nearly as much.
Get that lower bridge race. If any of Guerrero's men get past you, there's gonna
Get those two guys down there. One's gonna pop up here. There he is. And then one more is over on that. There we go.
Up I go.
And a nice thing with this section is there's a lot of dragon sniper ammo around. So you really don't have to worry too much about how much ammo that you have. We're going to be trying to use the sniper ammo as much as possible right now just to... hi. Okay, I needed to go over more, that's why. just to conserve that handgun ammo a little bit. It's going to come in handy when we need to do faster shooting. But for now, we can get away with the quick scoping. Lots of breaking of stuff. This is a common theme of Uncharted. Just everything is so old, it's deteriorating, it's gonna break. All right. Oh, climb up there, please. Quick scope those two guys that were rudely pointing their lasers at us. Get a rope here with some slow-mo. Look at that slow-mo. And then we gotta do a nice little swipe to get on there. And then this chapter is gonna heavily feature the use of the machete. Just for quick swipes like this. But Nate, that looks kind of dangerous. You gotta watch out. Nope, it was too late. He didn't take my warning, unfortunately.
I feel like the impact would do a little more to
All
you
right.
than just sort of like stumbling back a little bit. That was quite intense.
Yeah, that's the funny thing with these games. It's like you think more would happen, but not really. All right, so we climb up around here. There is a chance I can avoid one of these QTEs. There! Oh, I thought I had it. Oh, it's really hard to avoid that QTE, but there is a way on the beams that I'm on now. You can make it onto those beans to avoid that quick time event. I haven't figured it exactly how it works. I was really close to figuring it out, but I think you really just need extremely precise stick angle and positioning on that top beam for it to work. So we got one more onslaught of enemies. Oh, of course you went after the guy that was behind the rock. There you go. There's one there. There's one there. I hope somebody's been keeping track of the trophy count, because I'm really interested to know how many we've had pop up over this run. Get you. There we go. The guys behind cover can really get annoying really fast though. All right, that was the last one. We got the finally text, and this is where we got some of that desert ammo. So we're gonna reload that. We're gonna take out these guys. Let's quickly do it with this gun. Reload the sniper. Here we go. And we're gonna wait a little bit to nope, not shoot that. Shoot that. There we go. Because we got a chain gunner back there. And I don't think he took any damage from that barrel, which is unfortunate, but he's down anyway. That's all that matters in the end. And luckily, we don't need to really worry too much of... Stop climbing up. That's the one thing I hate with that part. We don't need to worry too much about the sniper ammo from this point on. Mainly because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of running in this next chapter, and it's really slow to pull that out. There's pretty much only one enemy I try to kill with that sniper. But that being said, we finally see Chase. Guero's just trying to drag her deeper into these caverns. And this is officially where the Quiverans resided, so we are getting very close to the heart of this ancient civilization. This chapter is really cool because the collectibles that you find around here are of the different deities. So they actually do give you like some lore about the deities. I'm gonna just drop this nade because that guy's being mean to Chase. That nade is really fun to drop. Whether it kills him or not, I'm not sure if it actually does, but it's always fun to drop that one. You pick up another one anyways. Oh, you're not dead. There we go. Normally I would have thrown 3 grenades, but I found usually if you do 2 with those guys and then shoot with the desert, it normally kills them. But I think one of the grenades was just out of range. And this is why the desert is really great for this part. You know, it's just really quick shooting. Don't have to worry too much. We're gonna do the 2 nades here. Oh, he's dead. Okay. That was interesting that he died from those 2. That guy is really annoying. We do keep him alive though because he shouldn't kill us. We do have to take down these 2 snipers though. They definitely will kill us. More climbing going on. Oh man, my health is actually lower than I thought, but we're fine. Like I said, that guy with the M4, yeah, he's fine. He won't actually murder us. It's fine. Make our way down here, get across this gap. We get a quick time event for that ledge. Just making our way around. I gotta really make sure. Well, I didn't mean to reload the ammo there, but it's fine. We need that ammo reloaded for this part because that guy in particular just bull rushes us. I will say that guy is phased through the ground. What? I haven't seen that one before either. But yeah, that section, that guy in particular is really annoying on crushing. Because they're just the armor shotgun guys. But that one in particular, because the way he charges, it's oh my gosh, it's so annoying. No matter what you do, if you don't kill him quick enough, he is going to come up there and melee you and try to murder you that way, while 4 other guys are shooting you at the same time. All right, so we're gonna use probably the last of our desert ammo there, which is fine. Because now I can... Oh, Not with that gun. Okay, this actually might not end up being good, but I can get away with it. It's fine. I do have one sniper bullet left, so okay, we made it work. Normally over there's a guy with desert ammo. There it is. If you get over there quick enough, you can avoid killing that sniper, and you just get to this point and automatically save your progression from there. So we get more sniper ammo here because Chase is now in danger from all these bad guys. Let's see if we get this bounce skip here. I did not. Very unfortunate. I actually found out during a random run that this balance skip was even possible. That was one of the balance skips that was thought not to be possible to do. It's a little finicky, but it does work. So we're gonna quick scope these guys and try not to miss. And this is where the roll is gonna play here. Roll down here. Yeah, normally if you just try to jump off of that, it's high enough where you will die. Normally you're supposed to, latch around, climb down off of it. But yeah, at this point we're reunited with Chase. Everybody's happy and cheery. And Nate reveals that the pendant that our grandfather had is actually a key to the heart of the ancient city.
Back up.
Whoa.
Very cool looking. It's probably one of the coolest doors in the Uncharted games. Like it's just a moving slab. All the other doors are just like extremely complex. This one is just a simple slab that moves, which is I find that more
the
cool in a
beauty
way.
of simplicity.
Exactly. So at this point here, our ammo doesn't actually matter. So we're going to be doing the shooting while running just to get a little bit faster
I was
speed.
talking about the game potentially getting spooky. And what was this? The River of Ghosts? That's the chapter name? There we go.
Yes. So just wait, because coming up here we're gonna see more than just a ghost. If I don't miss this, you actually see the ancient Quiverans. They had passed away for some unknown reason that we may or may not find out later. So yeah, they never left. They were here the whole time. And if you like the canoe scene before, just wait, we got another.
Let's go. This is what I was missing.
One more.
So with this one is actually a little bit different, because instead of just the traditional down swipe we have to do, we have to swipe left as well.
Revolutionary gameplay.
Exactly. I mean, at least they change it up for each canoe section is slightly different. There are going to be collectible deity statues that we're going to get along the way. They are forced upon us. I would definitely say, just like the first canoe, if you have anything you want to mention or anything from chat that you want to mention, this would probably be a really good time for that.
We've got it. I think before we started, you did wonder whether it was going to pop up, but somebody was wondering, what's the origin of your screen name?
And this kind of ties in with how I say it. I made this username for the 2003-2004 school year, so 2003-04. I was making the account for Neopets.
Nice.
But unfortunately, 2003-04 was already taken on the site, so I added the 1 at the end. Honestly, looking back at it, I really like it so much better with the 1 at the end. But that means I've been using this username for over 19 years now. So next August, when that rolls around, I'm probably gonna try to do something special for using this username for 20 years.
If it ain't broke, then don't fix it.
Exactly.
I like it.
One of the funny things is so many people, especially like with me streaming on Twitch, are like, why don't you change your username? You could get more viewers if you had more. But the thing is, I like the username. Like, I'm not gonna change it just to get more viewers. I feel I don't want to say it's petty, but it's not. It doesn't feel right to change it just for that reason, especially when I do
Yeah,
like
and
it.
that's
So.
unique to you. Like,
Probably.
especially on this show, I don't think we've
it's-
had anybody that's sort of just like pure numbers and has a connection to Neopets. I think that's definitely a new one as
So,
well.
what are we looking for again?
So the side effect is though a lot of places will require like a letter. So I just stick an A. So like my PlayStation account, my Xbox account, those are A 2003 or 41. Switch is the mean one because they don't like numbers whatsoever. So I have to have A2K3 for that one. So thank goodness for the nicknames. Oh yeah, coming up here. This is another chat interactive thing. Put your bets in. There's going to be a 4x4 grid. It's basically like one of those 15 number slider puzzle things. So one of those tiles is going to be blank. I want, and Hib, you get to
Okay.
join in on this. So which tile, if we go 1 in the top left, 16 in the bottom right, just, going straight across, which one will be missing? I'm going to say it's going to be number 7
Okay,
today.
so it's out of 16, you say?
Out of 16, yes.
I'm gonna go 4.
Got a disease, pain, plague, and
Okay,
insanity.
so that's the top right one. So I will say which one is missing. It's funny because I used to think that it was the same every time until I actually started paying attention to it, and it was actually random each time. All right, so the floor puzzle is coming up here. We're gonna let Chase go because if we get in her way, then it's a little slower. She has to light the sconce. It's number 2 this time. Number
Too far
2.
away.
Mosaic is
Too
all
far away.
scrambled. You say they're embracing here?
And the thing I like to do
To me,
here is
they're at
I
each
just like
other's
to
throats.
chase around.
Ooh, that'd do it.
I don't know why she just runs away from you during that point, but I found that out. And I'm like, oh man, this is so much more fun than just waiting for the cutscene to end.
Well, we had a couple of predictions in chat. We had a 5, we had 2 9s, 2 6s, a 12, 5 and 11. But I don't think anyone got it. The 2 has managed to trick us.
Very unfortunate. I probably should have gone for the 2 just because of 2K, but it's fine. So I can't pull the gun out here, so I gotta do jumps. Once I climb this ledge is when I can pull out the gun, which is funny that they do that. There we go. I skipped a climbing animation there. Alright, I'm gonna do a jump here because that only gets 1 stumble instead of 2 if I just walked on down there. Which I don't know why it does 2 stumbles. It's very, very strange. And then coming up here during the swipes I have to do, this is probably one of my favorite sections of the game, just because of what happens during the swipes. So I'll just kind of let it play out because it's I laugh every time.
Let's get serious.
Careful.
Really?
The careful gets me every time.
Really?
But that is Steven.
There it is. Here's your...
That was the guy that was supposed to be in the tomb.
How did you get here?
But he wasn't there. It was just a sword. He was down here the whole time. Now we're in a fight with Dante. Here's the thing. So with this fight, I'll talk about this fight a little bit first. So with this fight, it's just QTE swipes. If you notice all the X's down there, that is how many times I can mess up before the game just fails me completely. So we're on very easy. Oh, and luckily I get to try to swipe a couple times. The slow motion is slow enough where if I do make a mistake, I can keep the swipe going. And it's very finicky for some of these swipes, honestly. So yeah, once it gets to 5, that means that you're dead. We don't want to try to miss too many because sometimes the animation will change. It's not every time that you miss it will change, but it's enough where you don't want it to happen too many times. So the thing here is, if you remember the Quiverns that we passed by that were deceased on the ground and just staying there, yeah, all the gold that you see around you is actually radioactive. So the whole plot with the bad guys right now is they want to get this gold that's radioactive to put it on the black market, which obviously that will cause issues worldwide. If there's just radioactive gold, they don't know what's what. And of course Drake is like, absolutely not. Why? No, don't do that. And this fight in particular really highlights the fact that Nate really doesn't know how to fight. He just kind of does like these backyard brawls, I guess would be the right way to put it. And at this point, it's we're just swiping up. It's free at this point. Come on, don't stab. I did lose once on crushing accidentally because it didn't register or swipe properly. So Dante goes down. He ends up dying. Does he end up dying? I actually can't remember. Wow. Either way, we don't ever see him again. And I just love that rope animation. That only happens if Chase is above you on the rope. You get that weird grabby animation instead of just a regular rope climbing animation. But at this point, yeah, we found the lost treasure. We found the heart of the city. At this point, we just need to stop Guerrero because we stopped Dante. Let's get a super jump here. Very nice. That only happens when you spam jump coming out of the cutscene. I don't know why that happens. We're going to stealth these two guys just to make it easier. Of course, I get the slow animation there. But this guy in particular has a Desert 5. Because otherwise we get a 45 Defender, which, again, you know, we want the gun that kills people in one shot. Move! So in this section in particular, we really need to make sure Chase stays close because she is a trigger for a lot of different events happening. So we need to make sure we don't get too far in front of her. I have had her just stay locked in place because I did something too fast. Alright, so we're gonna jump over here. And at the edge of this ledge here. Oh, hey, here. Oh, I don't have any of those. That's funny.
Coming at you.
I definitely want to go back and try to, there we go, just refill that a little bit. So it's right here. I really need to make sure after I kill these guys and go up, the next set of guys I try to kill, I really need to make sure I'm deliberately slow or else she will just freeze and not follow at all, which is really unfortunate. We don't want that to happen. But the other thing I totally forgot to mention, Chase is kind of like, I don't care at this point. Give me a gun. Let me help. So she's actually being helpful. But yeah, we need her here because that rope does not drop otherwise after we kill those guys. Which is really unfortunate. She is tied into a lot of ropes that need to drop, so that's not going to be the only time we see a rope drop because she's in a particular area. Oh, that was almost bad.
Okay.
Again, I'm trying to get ahead of her, and I actually just noticed if you get ahead of her, she's got that weird rope climbing thing, which is pretty funny, honestly. I never noticed that one before. So we're gonna do our special nades here. There's a guy here, wasn't there? No? You're still alive, which is not good. Okay, I really want to shoot you. And then we're gonna shoot you. Okay. So now we can continue along. So this part, it's just gonna be insane with those heavy armored chain gunners, but the very nice thing is they give you enough heavy artillery to deal with them fairly easily.
I'm trying.
Make this jump here. So this section in particular, if I remember my crushing playthrough, this part was so hard. So we get behind there, we aim there. These guys are always going to take 2 shots with these RPGs. The second one in there. And of course that first shot just completely missed, but it's fine. Okay, there's more ammo there, so we're going to climb this rope. So once we get up here, this is probably the worst influx of enemies that you get because you just get so many of the shotgun guys. A couple of them have, you know, the special padding on it. And then there's also going to be an armored chain gun guy. So we're going to try to blast as many as we can with that one. That's a good blast. Oh, I don't want this. Where's the chain gun? There it is. Because I only have one. So at this point, the thing is, I really want to keep this desert as much as I can and try to keep it full of ammo as much as I can. This is another rope that's tied to Chase. Thank goodness she is here. Don't jump too early. You won't grab it. You know you can grab it as soon as it turns white. We drop down. We're going to grab the sniper. Get back to our quick scoping because quick scoping in this game, honestly, it's so nice to quick scope in this game, believe it or not. Okay, we're not going too far, Chase. It's fine. You're fine. And again, this is, even though she has the gun now, you can't get too far ahead of her. Or else they will kill her because obviously she has no training with the gun. She's just using it for bare minimum defense at this point. Okay, so we got one more barrage of enemies in this next chapter here. But the beginning of this is going to be very similar to the escape sequence, chapter 17, chapter 18. Because you know the rule. If you want to just cover your traces, just cover everything in C4, right?
Yeah. Tried and tested. Works every time.
Chase!
Helps when you've got some spare C4 on you, you know?
What was that jump? I'm pretty sure I'm dead there. I'm not even gonna try that. I'm not letting that play out. I don't get why he jumped right into the wall. Obviously, you're supposed to jump into this rope like that. Again, that's a never happened before moment there. I actually don't know what that was. That was such a bizarre jump. Hi. That jump happens all the time though, where you just jump straight up when you want him to jump on a rope. This guy is so aggressive, so we're just gonna kill him like that. Gonna pull up the sniper and miss our first shot. And the thing with the scoping that I didn't think I hit him. The thing with the scoping I never really mentioned is the fact that so one of the things that I actually did before the run even started, because you can zoom in and out of the scope, but as long as the console is running, the game is running, you can adjust your scope and it keeps that setting. So I actually set it to about half zoom. That's where I feel really comfortable with the zoom.
Hey, I'm right behind you.
But the other thing too, when it comes to the scope in general, is the fact that when you try to do that lock on, it will just automatically try to go for the body. So especially when they're behind cover, trying to quick scope is not the best idea. We're gonna shoot that barrel to just take out both of those in one bullet, and I wonder if I shoot. Okay. Yep, so we're just gonna abuse that so I can get a full clip of Desert 5, so that way we don't have to worry about a handgun. Please move over. There we go. Just a nice little thing where if you know how the game mechanics work, you can use them to your advantage. But this next section is not really gonna matter too much because we're going to have... Actually, it did matter for this part here because I do have to kill that guy. I had no sniper ammo at that point. But the very next section, it's not actually gonna matter too much because we're gonna be given a lot of stuff. All right, this can be really close. Roll, there we go. Yeah, that pillar can fall on you and easily crush you. I had that happen during my casual run. I was just like, whoa, what the heck was that? But it's always gonna break like that. Another swipe up.
Okay.
Go, just go.
Okay, come on. Nope, I don't want to use that. Didn't mean to do that. All right, so this is where we're going to have really our last barrage of enemies. So we're gonna use this RPG. Take out this heavy gunner, grab the sniper. There we go. And nice thing is we can kind of run and gun these guys down. If I can actually hit my shots, that'd be great. But then we're gonna use, it's 3 or 4 shots to kill this guy, or 2. You know, I apparently I'm wrong on that. You're gonna come from here. At this point, we're just gonna use the chain gun. And you can see the chain gun has set amount of ammo, but we don't need to worry about it. Main thing that we're doing here is we're just tapping on the shoot button. So that way the chain gun is always spinning. Speaking of chain gun, I really don't want you to murder me. Okay, we got the audio cues. That means they're all dead. I'm gonna make sure this is reloaded. Because we're gonna have at least one more. This chase escort is required here, so we're gonna get across this gap, and it's required more so than some of the other ones because yeah, Chase is gonna need to monkey bar across, but there's gonna be enemies right on her tail here, so we need to make sure we take them out. There's 5 in total. Just gonna wait for them to start dropping. There's 1. We're gonna start dropping in multiple ways. There's 2. There's 3. 2 more. Can I go 5 for 5 here? Yep, there's 4. 1 more. There he is. All right, sweet. That was very nice and efficient there.
Come here.
So I think this is the last boosty. So say goodbye to the boosties.
Bye bye, beasties.
But we gotta wait for her to actually cross the way. There she is. All right, boosties.
Whee.
All right, so this box we're gonna try the same thing. It's a little bit of a later timing because you will just stumble off like that. I love this part. Ladies first, he says, as we go in front of her.
What a gentleman.
You said down.
Unfortunately, it does not get subtitles there. So this is where we're going to use another roll off the ledge. Please don't die. Thank you. Normally, you're supposed to grab those handholds and go across because if you just fall off regularly, you will die. But that roll off is very, very nice for that part. And just like that, we are to the final chapter. I'm going to let this play out just for a tiny bit. You can see Guerrero is just mad with power here. RPG. Everything's falling. Oh, Chase is dead. I'm pretty sure Chase is dead. I mean, that pillar fell right on top of her.
You mean to tell me that we're waiting for the data to load when we could see what's happened to him? Or did they not show anything?
No. Chase is dead. I mean, you look at her down there, right there. She is definitely dead, right?
Yeah. To be fair, the pointing is still making me laugh. As you can see, she's clearly dead.
I know. I keep forgetting I can. That's one of the things I always forget I can do, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that, and then I do it. That is one of the nice things with the custom firmware, I will admit, is the pointers. You can't get that with the Vita, can you? Do that jump while everything is exploding, which is hilarious because you're just right in the blast as it goes off and you take no damage. All right, so we're to the final fight, and if you remember the Dante fight, yeah, this is the same thing, but with Guerrero. I will say though that this part is really great in terms. Oh, I skipped a beam. Nice. This part is really great in general just because there is banter between the two at different points, and just so I can really show this off, because this part is just slow climbing anyways. I'm gonna do a little stretch as he keeps going around. There we go. And that's what I mean, it's very nice casually to just point direction and go. So with this fight, you see those X's at the bottom. It's going to be the same, except it's not. There's going to be a point where it's sudden death. So once I get to that point, I'm really going to need to focus to make sure I don't die. I really don't want to die to this fight, because it's not that bad. Like I said, with how much time you get to react, it's really not bad, and you can re-swipe multiple times and not really have to worry too much. As the difficulties get higher, the time you have to react goes way down, and some of the swipes get pretty complicated. They're not as complicated as I remembered, but they're still kind of
Do
complicated.
you have to do any like drawing circles or spirals?
So they like the J shapes
okay.
for this fight in particular. Alright, so this is where it becomes sudden death right here. So all those X's are gone. All of that you have 5 chances. Nope, out the window at this point. So most of the swipes for the difficulties are the same. It's just like this one is a J like that. And especially when you're doing this on a touchpad and not an actual Vita, it will make you miss for pretty much no reason. For seemingly no reason. I can't tell you how many times on the crushing gameplay I lost on the final swipe. Okay. I really need to make sure I don't screw up. Don't you? Down. Alright. This final bit.
No honor in defeat, remember? That revolution of yours failed?
Eres un cobarde. Coward? Name calling. Is that the best you can do?
Just like the rest of those worthless thugs who serve in that pathetic mob you call an army.
Just like I said, the dialogue in this game, they did it so well. And that is it for Guerrero.
R.I.P.
Goodbye bridge. Goodbye cutscene. And what is this? Hold on, Chase is alive. We are very close to the end of the run. So there's going to be one more QuickTime event that we're going to see. After the 3 swipes, when it fades to black, that is officially time for this run. Chase is alive, so we just need to get this 3-ton pillar off of her. That's 1, 2, 3, and the fade to black is time. Time.
GG.
Come on out of there.
Nicely done.
Thank you. Oh, that room was honestly pretty solid. I'm glad, like I said, that chapter 15 clip, that clip is so much harder than you would think. It took me so long to be able to even get that remotely air quote consistent, and I still feel like it's really inconsistent. So I'm really glad I was able to show that off for
Yeah,
you
the time that
guys.
we got on our end was a 2:34 flat, which I imagine with the pauses might be a little bit different, but yeah, solid, well under estimate.
Yep, that's right around where I had
See
to.
any handholds?
Yeah, I mean, I've been grinding this out the last 2 weeks, and just within the last couple of days, I'm surprised. I ended up, I went from a 238 all the way down to a 229. So I got the first US 1.3 that was below a
Almost a
230.
full 10 minutes. Wow.
So yeah, so I like I said, I've really proven that running on US patched is a viable way to do it, as opposed to needing to go get the Japanese copy. So
Brilliant. Well, nicely done. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think there's a lot of love for not just this game, but just the Vita in general. Seems like it's got because it was the last of. It was kind of like the last of the handhelds taken on from other than Nintendo keeping on their stuff, but Sony didn't continue after this. So,
right.
Yeah, I think there's.
Yeah, it's honestly, the Vita and the PS TV, I will say in particular, especially with the PS TV, I really wish that they marketed it better. It definitely could have had better sales and whatnot. The PS TV, initially, I thought that it was just a straight up digital console for older games like PS1. But there actually is a Vita cartridge slot. It natively supports a good range of Vita games directly on it. And if I knew that way back in the day, I would have got it when it was $50, $100. Instead, I had to schlep out, what was it, I think it was 160 I paid for the TV. And then the only other thing that you would need to get if you were interested in getting a PS TV, you need to get a splitter that strips the HDCP protection.
You are not going to leave here empty.
But those are only about $10. It's the easiest way to capture anything on the Vita compared to playing directly on a Vita.
Yeah.
No, it was never mine.
Well, thank you so much for that run. If people want to find you and any of your streams, whereabouts can they find you?
This?
The username 2003-041. I stream on Twitch. I typically stream between Monday and Friday, starting around noon Eastern. I typically go for about 5 hours. I do a lot of variety. It's speedrunning variety. I have over 35 games I've run at this point. I do a lot of rhythm gaming. Recently, it's been DJ Max, Respect, Muse Dash. I've kind of been getting back into Guitar Hero, but that's been more offline. And then I also do casual playthroughs, first playthroughs. I recently did the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy. And I've also been currently working on community goal for Getting Over It playthrough, which that game hurts my hands so much. I don't get how people can.
I do not envy you in the slightest.
That reminds me.
And if anybody wanted to try out, a Tomb Raider game, or maybe this one in particular, whereabouts are they best sort of suited to find resources? Or
so Uncharted, every game on the SRC leaderboard has a Discord link to the server. The server is extremely chill. It may not be active all the time, but anytime anybody needs help and they ask they're always helped pretty immediately. In particular for me with this run in this game, it was B-Man, Sergeant Silent were the main two that really helped set up the PS TV to get this game to run. And questions I had about this game in general. There's a lot of resources within the Discord. There are some resources within the actual leaderboard pages themselves. And like I said, the Discord is very, very friendly. Everybody is there to help. In particular with this game, really the main people to thank in terms of all the routing and all that, Oven Donkey was the one who found that cover clip. So, thanks to him for that. Sergeant Silent, who doesn't run the game, B-Man and Panzerdeer, who have first and second place times on the leaderboard. They were the main ones who were glitch hunting, finding out, the balance skips, which ones would work and whatnot. They did a lot of the heavy work. MattMatt had some contributions as well. Like I said, that one turret skip, like I said, I found that by watching one of his PB runs. So definitely, you can always peep runs on the leaderboard. You can see different strats that people may not have posted about. But yeah, I mean, everybody is there to help. They are very kind and courteous about it and all that. So Definitely a good community to be with, and I'm glad it was one of the first speedrun. Uncharted 1 was the second ever speedrun I ever did. Was the first one that I did with glitches. So really thanks to everybody there for all the help with all the Uncharted games.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the run. Yeah, chat's thoroughly enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, who knows? Maybe if there's another mobile game that you start running in the future, it'd be awesome to have you on again. But folks, that is Going Places for today. If you have missed any of this, the whole of the VOD will be on the Games Done Quick YouTube channel. And who knows, maybe a few. I did enjoy quite a few moments from this, and hopefully a few of them might make their way into the highlights reel for this week. But those will be up on our social medias. You can find them there. And hey, Hotfix is not done for the night. We are going to be having Think Fast after this with some splatting action. Splatting action? That's probably not the right way to say it. Splatoon action. There we go. That sounds a bit nicer. But yeah, we are going to be handing over to them after a short little break, so do stick around. This has been Going Places. I have been, what was I called yesterday by Brasentia? I can't even remember. But yes, we will be back in 2 weeks' time. I think we're going to have some Little Big Planet perhaps, and a few other things, but I don't want to take up too much airtime because it is time for Think Fast, everybody. See you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks for having me again.